blazed. Blazed. Get blazed. Get blazed. Blazed. Get blazed. What is up, everybody? We are back for another episode of the CAW Summit. CAW. Good to see everybody. Now I can get rid of that so I can hear myself. Y'all can hear me good. Let me know in the chat. Showed a bunch of people who are here already. This is one of those streams where, share it out. Let people know what's going down. And we're going to have some guests. And it's just happenstance that we're going to talk about creating your character right before the game drops within a week. Our new game comes out on Thursday night, hopefully, but we'll see. So this series of podcasts, basically from the conversation from Chance and company that we were doing on Twitter, just talking about e-fetting in general, trying to share best practices. And I guess there's one thing, there's a video that goes around that I saw. Of course, Bill Hadel being here going, caw, caw, caw. So I call it digital wrestling, e-fed wrestling, virtual wrestling, whatever you want to call it. Almighty Finesse in the house. What's happening? So there's a video goes around on social media where it's a comedian or whatever saying, apple trees don't eat apples. Pear trees don't eat pears. All they need is water. So basically, the idea behind it is your gifts are for other people. So the good example was you could be in the worst emotional, mental state you've ever been in, but someone calls you and you can give them the best damn advice on the planet. And you're like, man, you hang up and be like, I should have gave myself that, advice. So it's like, just to put it into perspective, that if I'm not giving back, if I'm not out there helping other people that are doing the same thing, transforming this game into a Dungeons and Dragons type role-playing game where we can have fun with it, then I don't know what I'm doing. I want to help other people, share best practices. Ryan Mannion, the Scorpion, is here. Jamar is here. Good to see you. So I thought, let's all get together. Let's have a couple streams specifically for certain things about how we're taking this video game that's meant to be played and we're sitting back and watching it and see what unfolds. So here on the Blaze Radio Network and LTD, I let you guys submit your characters, have a couple ways to tweak it, and then we let it all play out on the stream. All right, man, what's happening? Mrs. Utaker, I guess I got to do my song. Well, hello there, Tiny Taker. Yeah. Be jealous, Monstar, be jealous. I know you try. Son. Anyway, so we've had Riley, Totes, and Triple Beat on our first one. And then we had Odds, Monstar, and Kelly on the second one. Basically just talking about how they run their own federations, how they set up everything that they do. Tonight, we're specifically doing character creation. So tips and tricks. And I think I speak for the whole panel coming on today that we're not here to tell you how to do it. We're just here to share what we prefer or how we do it. They might say, yeah, we're here to tell you how to do it. But I'm just going to be the host. I will introduce these 5 individuals. We got 2 that are maybe going to be late. We'll see how it goes. If not, I'll get them on a different show. So I'll introduce each of these individuals. We're going to sit back. We're going to talk about a couple different things with creations. We're going to go over basically creating your character, his gear, the look, the name. We're going to talk about being unique, being creative, reaching out for help if you need help with creation of your character, entrance, theme, song that come down to, matching it all up, making it make sense to give you the closest thing to a TV product that we can do. Grand Prix in the house. Good to see you, Ben. How you doing, man? Welcome in. We're going to talk about movesets just a little bit today. We're going to touch on movesets, setting up a moveset to make sense, because next Sunday we have solo season Jay Savage and DC Twitch from Dragon Joshi Pro. Those 2 will come on and we'll talk specifically about movesets and even more on the game because it'll be up. It'll be up and running by then. We'll talk about story for your character and the history of your character. Having a backstory helps. Playing your character, being able to lose. Brandon Ace in the house. Welcome in. A do-rag. No. If anything, I wear it with a badge of honor. Big nose, big ears, bald head. If I can make fun of myself, that gives me the right to make fun of all of you too. In fun. Not out of hatred or anything. So we're here to bring people together. We're here to have fun. We take it seriously, but don't take it too seriously. We want you to play the game, but don't play the game too hard. We have some of those. I've also talked about the levels of engagement. We got people that are all into it. They love everything about it. They can play along no matter what the game gives us. That's great. Ideal. We got the people in the middle just happy to be a part of the show. Love being part of something like this. And maybe they'll learn to play their character in advance, etc., etc. Then we got people who need their hand held for whatever reason. Maybe they don't get it. They need some help learning how to be a character or whatever. So, there's different levels of engagement. So many different companies out there, eFed, SimFed, commentary, game commentary, recorded live, so many different ways to do it. Real created characters, real industry characters, and something in between. There's no wrong way to do it. We welcome it all. As you see around me, over 50 different eFeds. That was kind of weird. Over 50 different eFeds are represented here for our gathering tournament, which starts on Tuesday. I will not hold your hand because I know where it's been. And let's see what else. Without going too far, the golden rule. We've talked about the golden rule of eFedding that I kind of said earlier than later. I said, you know, there's so many eFeds out there that if you don't like the way the showrunner runs it, or maybe you're not getting along, or there's people in that company you don't like, or you just don't like the way the show is produced or put out there, go find a different one. Simple as that. It's not for everybody. I've even said LTD is not for everybody. There's certain things that I do that some people don't like as far as the eFed community. That's fine. I'm going to bring on 5 guests here today that I've learned to know outside the game, and I've watched them not only create cool characters with unique attires, character stories, have fun, win or lose. You know, those are all the main goals that we want to do here today. That's about it. That's about, you know, the intro I'm going to do today compared to my long, you know, soliloquies and going over too much about what I do. If you're subscribed to this channel, tune in, you'll figure it out. Play along. Nightbot will also drop links for the guests that I have here today. Better not screw it up. But we got links in the chat for those. Chance representing Grand Prix Wrestling for the gathering. Just keep an eye on the chat. Plus, in the description of this show, all 7, like I said, 2 people run a little late. Mrs. Utaker and Hell's Gate. You'll start to see all their Cougar Knight representing EXW, Mordrin and Sacrifice. So you'll see all their links pop up. Kassie Madam Red, who doesn't specifically do an eFed, but she does a gaming channel. We support those as well. A lot of people that do gaming channels as well. So before I bring on my guests, I do want to say, don't take this game personally. Now, if you're your character, some people take it too personally. They think we're attacking them as a person if we come at them, or, I mean, this is wrestling. We're role playing. So it's about egos, good guys, bad guys, etc., and everything in between. So don't take it personally. Just have fun with it. You can always go into someone's DMs if you have a question, the showrunner. That should be the person you should go to. Yeah, it's just a hobby. Now, some of us take it seriously when we're producing the show and putting on the show and making storylines and getting you guys involved. But I'm not, I mean, I'm a jokester. I'm silly. I'm weird. I'm wacky. So don't take it seriously, but not too seriously, I guess I could say, like Brandon and them are alluding to. We will touch base on 2K25 here tonight as well. There are a lot of weirdos out there. Sean knows all about the weirdos. But no wrong way to run your eFederation. We're going to have fun with it. Let's see what else. That's it. Different players, different ways to play, different universes. We call it Create a Wrestler, CAW, because that's the basics of it. We're creating a wrestler and letting it play in a universe. Technically, it is digital wrestling. It's create a universe, but CAU is tougher to pronounce. I don't know what that would be. This CAW. But that's all it is. So, yeah, that's a good way to put it. If the investment is good, I want you to be invested in your character in the game. Obsession is bad. Or say the game is personally affecting you. You have whatever emotional issues, or it triggers your anxiety or something. By all means, take a break. Stop. Don't do it for a while. It's okay. Don't worry about it. The thing about it is, and I jokingly say it, but I mean it, we're putting unity in this community. How you doing, Rose? There's a lot of people out there that they just do it for themselves, their own company, how they want to do it, and that's fine. I wanted to be connected to as many people as I can to share best practices, learn from each other. And from the first 2 shows, Totes, Magoats, Triple Beat, and Riley Wolf, don't tell Riley I said this, but I learned from them. Hope you guys learned a couple things too. From Odds, Monstar, and Kelly, I learned stuff too. No, we're not on the Titanic boat, Sean. I'm not hugging you. So we're going to bring on all 5 of my guests, and we're going to get right to it. So I guess I already did the Blaze basics. So that was asked backwards, but sometimes we do that. The Digital Wrestling Syndicate is the phrase I kind of coined. I don't need patted on the back or nothing, but I wanted to unite people that do this. Not for myself, but for the collective group of everybody. That's how I feel about it. So sometimes Joey Plays is in the house. We welcome gamers as well. Gamers, podcasters, YouTubers, streamers, everything in between. Great to see my bestie Joey out there. Mitch, be jealous. Temple's in the house as well. Good to see you. Yeah, don't burn yourself out. And like from me, real quick, I have over 90 different people in my company, and that's the way I wanted it. And yes, there's some downfalls to that, but you got to realize I'm trying to entertain everybody. So it's not always just about you. It could be storyline wise and stuff like that, but it's about everybody. Icon Sports Network, welcome in. Welcome in. Good to see you. Got Rick Race. Is that good old Rick Race? If it's not, then welcome in. But if it is, good to see you, my friend. So I don't want everybody always to think they have to be in every storyline, everything, answer everything, or worry, sit back, and DMs are always open. That's a way we've enhanced this game to make it even more fun. Scott Royal, we got people from all over e-fetting popping in. That's what I like. And we got the lurkers. We got our professional lurkers out there, which is fine. But pop in. We'll give you a shout out. I want your opinion. So as much as my 5, now 6 guests I have, you guys in the chat, especially you that run e-feds or have a player in an e-fed, your comments, your opinions, we value as well. Maybe not McAllister's as much, but good to see you. Lurking as well. Always, I don't hate lurkers. But don't feel afraid. Yes, it is Rick Race. Don't be afraid to chime in. Don't be afraid to, in the chat, share your opinions because we value them. All right. Now, I figured the best way to do this was bring ladies first. And some that get me in a good mood all the time. And it was the case just the other day. I hide it very well on stream, even when I'm not feeling well. But you guys seem to bring it out of me. Same time, like, for instance, when my show crashes and I got to come back, that takes the wind out of the sails, the air out of you. And it's tough to recover, but you guys in the chats, and that's another thing that I didn't mention, people that engage the chats, some that don't. They just do the pre-recorded shows, premieres, whatever. No wrong way to do it. But that's my energy is you guys in the chat. You guys in the chat is what it's all about. So let's bring on the first guest. And it would have been nice and simple and in just the way it would have been if it wasn't for this lady's character husband decided to pop in, and now it's going to ruin up the aesthetics of the show once everyone gets on. But ladies and gentlemen, our first guest.
You say that I'm psychotic, but then you like it like that.
Is the goddess of pain.
It's like every time the conversation changes, and I want you right back, right back. You say that I'm hypnotic, and that I caught you like that.
Welcome, Goddess.
Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everybody out there. Sorry I'm not typing in the chat, but I don't want to do two things at once because I'll break something.
Yeah, true. So, Goddess runs wet panty whipping post wrestling.
Whipping post, yes.
I should just call it WPW and be done with it.
There you go.
All right.
You never get it wrong that way.
So if you haven't been to any of her shows, be prepared. It's off the hook. It's pretty crazy. And it's supposed to be that way. I mean, she's here to give
people the angels out there. Hey,
she's here to give people beatings and whippings in the creepy dungeon and all that. Creepy basement. All that good stuff. All right. Let's bring on our second guest, another lovely lady that loves to distract me, get me feeling a little better, a little enjoyable whenever I go to the Red Lounge or go to her streams. Death by Daylight. What else? We got her Jackbox streams. I love playing in her box, ladies and gentlemen. Our next guest is Kassie, Madam Red. Hey, Kassie.
Hello, my loves.
So now it's like, I mean, I could just do the show just with you two. Screw everybody else. So
hey, now we need Tiny up here too.
These lovely, I know. I'm getting to that. These are the ladies. I was just going to do the show with you, just the ladies, but I kind of wanted a little bit of variety, if you will. So let's bring on our third lady, the lovely Tiny Taker, or Mrs. Utaker.
It's the mighty Tiny Taker.
Now we got a party. Hi, Tiny.
Hey.
I already sang your song, so I'm not singing it again.
Oh, that's fine.
But I can if you want me to.
Well, if you want to. I mean, it would incite Sean in the chat. You can.
So, yeah, anytime I could piss him off or get him riled up, the better it is.
But these ladies, let me tell you, Kassie brought me here to DWS, and
you all are welcome.
Kept me here.
So Hell's Gate wrestling, wet panty wrestling, play with her Jack in her box, Kassie. So.
Yeah, no.
But the thing behind all three of these ladies, I think that is the same is I like to say this when I talk about people, so I don't offend them, number one, but it's also a huge compliment. Strong personalities right here with these three ladies. Plus a lot of experience when it comes to role-playing games, writing promos, talking about your characters, developing your characters. So I couldn't have picked. That's nothing against anyone else out there, but these are the three I've known the longest doing creations and doing this with. So now we get to ruin the bunch and bring a couple dickheads on here. But dickheads that we all love. This one Tiny loves even more. The East Coast Bastard.
Yeah, OOC.
Yeah, today we're OOC and in character today, so I forgot to mention that.
Yeah.
What the fuck's up, everybody?
What's happening, big guy? We got Mordrin in the house, and
okay, hang on a minute.
Go ahead.
Blaze, you never do it right. You got to do it right.
Yes.
It's
do it,
the
guys.
man, the myth, the legend, the motherfucking East Coast bastard, Mordrin Nightwalker.
There's an introduction for the century. For the man, the myth, the legend. And I would add our Mord and Savior, Mordrin Nightwalker.
Yes.
There you go.
So Monstar treats his creations like an onion with layers of inspiration and a big must to progress. It lets things be a little organic in the chat based off of what's typed and also what the commentary says. And that's kind of what I'm leading towards, pun intended, is that those that run the show should run the show. Those in the chat that are blue, the moderators, do help the person run the show, but it is a combination of that. So well put, Monstar.
Well put.
I don't want to say best for last, so let's bring on in character Mordrin's son, and the man who I will give him credit. And I'm sure he won't take it, is the inspiration behind this podcast, because the conversation that we had and all the puns with CAW, even though I didn't like it. And yeah, I have my list. Call and order, cause and effect, caught in the act, construction, contenders, cautious of surroundings. And that's a very good one. Take caution, my favorite, controversy, natural causes, divide and conquer, and proceed with caution. And when you're dealing with this guy, the man of many monikers, I'm not going to pull his card out and read them. You'd have to tune into the show to get his real introduction. But we love his song.
It's my best friend.
Yes. Call.
So many causes. Yeah, it's a Nightwalker show.
I mean, almost.
Many times must you put me through this? Can't you feel me? Cause I'm starting to get this. I'll take the sorry as I pass through my door. You evil fucking Lord. I cannot tolerate.
Gotta wait for the hook.
State of hate that you put me in. And I'll eliminate and taste my fate. I'm going to win. Too bad that you're not here to see me with my victory. So sad, maybe next year. Until then, fuck you from me. I cannot tolerate. Can't take the state of hate that you put me in. And I'll eliminate, and I will taste my fate. I'm going to.
Ladies and gentlemen, the man who has zero tolerance for douchebags, Chance Harper. Chance Man Harpfinkel, sorry.
What's up?
Really good songs. Just such a good song. I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
So Corey chiming in says, all my creations know each other in some way, either through feuds, alliances, or family. It gives each character an easy backstory that can be built over time. It's a great point. It's a great point. So, look how nice and, good all 6 boxes are nice. in the box
Symmetrical and
here.
even.
All
I know.
symmetrical, even.
Somebody's
Look,
OCD is about ready to go off the roof.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
someone decided to show up and ruin it all.
Who could that be?
B, I don't know.
It kind of
Shock,
makes
shock.
Shock.
makes
shock,
sense
shock.
though. It's this guy.
Exactly.
We went from one of the best songs to worst song.
French blood in his veins, lies in power in his reign. Count of shadows, deceiver. Zrathknock the true believer.
Chance's song is best in DWS.
All right. Here to screw up the whole layout. Not too bad. I kind of said
If you have OCD, you will be in for a problem today because now it's 7 boxes, which is not even, which upsets even myself. So
Well,
I'm
we
hurting
have-
you by hurting myself.
Yes, thank you. And welcome, my friend. I'm glad you made it. You had me a little worried.
Yeah, I had a little bit of, problem with traffic, but I was able to make it.
Hold on, you deserve the button.
Yeah.
That's
Anywho,
it. I'm suing Tiny.
so
I mean, at least all of us girls are on top now. So
Oh,
With me.
I did not know that. Oh, except for where I'm on the side of.
So
you know,
all the
these guys
girls
are-
are on top. Yeah, all the girls are on
Yeah.
top.
I don't
So
see a
I'm-
problem with this.
So when Cougar gets here, I'm sure Chance will want her on top of him.
Probably.
Because Cougar Knight is our 8th person here. She is running a little late. Sent me a little message. So if Cougar comes on, then we got look. Wally even knows you're keeping track. Wally, good job. He's keeping track. So
Glad.
yes, I'll be Blazette. Thanks, Iffy, for pointing out that I'm on the road. I'm on the road with the ladies.
Yeah, he's Blazette McCoy.
God. So
no,
so
he can be.
these are-
He
At
can be
least
his
it's not
daughter.
Lady
He can
O'Rush.
he can be his daughter for right now.
See, I knew that I wouldn't. I picking these people that I really wouldn't have control of the show, and that kind of bothers me a little bit. But it also makes total sense with the individuals that I brought in, and you're all here for a reason. Let's be real. I think Tiny said it on her show the other day. If you put in all of our experience in the EFED, it's close to like 100 years of EFEDing with all 8 of us.
Oh yeah, over.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah. So I
Yep.
mean, even if it's 10 of each of us, and you know, I've talked about mine where it started way back in the 80s with a magazine sending in stuff, but I think a lot of us have been doing it since we were kids. You have your figures, you play your little EFED, you know, you name it, you try to do it.
Tell your
and
stories.
Yep.
yeah, tell a story. And this game has given us the ability to bring it to life. You know, we could sit here and complain about what the game doesn't give us or what we wish it had and this and that. But what's the use of that? What do we do with this game? We mold it to what we want it to be. And we're always and next week we'll be talking about what we got to work around for this game. No, I'm not Blaze Nightwalker, Bill. And if
I
it
mean,
would be-
it's a big enough family. It makes sense. He could be Blaze Nightwalker.
well, me
Yeah,
and
but we
Mord-
don't need all the branches coming off of one tree.
We
yeah, but me
don't.
and Mord would be more brothers than
I was
him and
like,
my
he would be
father.
Uncle Blaze.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's Uncle
that-
Brilla. Yeah.
I called him grandpa earlier.
So I thought about not doing any commercials and stuff like that. But before we get into the subjects, I think we're going to do just one round of commercials. And
Lord.
let's see. It's always now it's a question of which ones, because there's so many. And I really like that. I like the effect of having a bunch of people here that have done either made commercials for me or give me a script so I can read it or done a commercial. And you know, one's going to be a shifted commercial. We'll be right back after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Midnight Hobo presents Real Hobos of Genius.
Real hobos of genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Perverted Trenchcoat Flasher Guy.
Mr. Perverted Trenchcoat Flasher Guy.
With your dark sunglasses, fedora hat, and hairy legs sticking out of the bottom of your trench coat, nobody could ever know what you were about to do.
How you doing?
On the lookout for hot, sexy women that you could never bed in real life, or maybe some kinky stuff with that old granny sitting at the bus stop. You don't discriminate.
You can look, but you can't touch.
The pressure is on. It's time to perform as you jump in front of those unsuspecting ladies and rip open your trench coat.
I was in the pool. I swear to God, it's bigger when it's warm.
So here's to you, Mr. Perverted Trenchcoat Flasher Guy. Until you came along, never has someone done so much with so little.
Mr. Perverted Trenchcoat Flasher Guy.
Midnight Hobo, Chernobyl Bottling Company, Intercourse, Pennsylvania.
What a perv. Wish I thought of that. Intercourse.
Hey, guys and gals. Kassie here, reminding you to stop into the Red Lounge. We're open 24/7, 365. So come in. We're the only place in town where every story has a guaranteed happy ending. You're watching Leaning Towards Death Wrestling with your boy, Blaze McCoy, on the Blaze Radio Network. Make sure to check out all of his shows every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. He's putting the unity back in community, right here on YouTube.
Yes, I don't want to compliment Count, but he said, where did Count go?
He pushed the wrong button.
Oh, God.
I am back.
He played with the
Uh,
wrong button.
I love messing with the wrong buttons. Ask Goddess.
He said it in the chat too, and it is Shifty and the Great Red Dragon made gold. It's just and timeless. That commercial's got to be like 12 years old too, right?
At least 12. I think it's like 15 or 18 at this point.
Yep, easy.
But I die every time I hear it.
They're amazing.
And I love the ability of putting a slideshow to it so you can get some visuals. So that was one of my favorites.
Well, did you just get Gav to do a photo shoot? Because that ad is literally Gav.
Are you calling him a gremlin?
Yes, he is a perverted trench coat flasher guy.
Well, he is the flasher guy. I mean,
He always takes offense when I play that commercial. There's one part in the commercial though where Shifty goes, "I was in the pool," and he says something after that. I have no clue what he said.
It's basically he's saying it's not usually this small. I was in a pool. He's trying to say it's cold.
the trinkets, cold water.
Yeah.
Shrinkage is the problem. Yes. Okay. I get it. Now I get it. I was always trying to. I was going to message Shifty, be like, Shifty, he says something about the pool, and then it's not like he's easy to understand when he's doing Shifty full blown, but
no, he's not.
No,
it is fun. It is fun. A national treasure is an understatement. We love Shifty, and
Yeah, he is.
if I can, we'll bring him on to one of these too. And that reminds me, we have now I can get my OCD back and get organized again because, ladies and gentlemen, we got our final guest.
Yay!
Fusty feline prowls the night. Mother anarchy, fierce and right. Strong yet vulnerable, a sight to see. Night's wild heart coming for thee. Hot-tempered gleam in her eye. With each roar, life's demons die. Sexy radiance burns like fire. Cougar Knite, your darkest desire. She's the force that breaks the chains. Rains down fury, drives you insane. Family first in the heart's embrace. Hear her roar, she'll win the race.
One part I have to hear.
Anarchy runs through her veins. Her wild heart can't be constrained. Sucks to be you, that's the truth. Beware the rage of Cougar's youth.
I love that sucks to be you part.
I had to get it in there. Cougar Night, everybody.
Cougs.
Welcome in, Cougs.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna warn you guys now. We're never PG.
Yeah,
Not on our
never.
shows. No, none of us are PG. So
Nope.
if you think that, I'm sorry. You're gonna hear a lot of cussing, a lot of laughing, and a lot of just fucking around.
Fuck
Are you
yeah,
there?
we will.
Are
And
you
a lot
there,
of shit
Cougar?
that's inappropriate.
Yes, I'm here.
All right. Okay. Can I give you shit for not having an avatar?
Sure.
I want to see your sexy body. Where are you? I know
Wherever
you're.
my girls are wrestling today, that's where I'm at.
I'm glad you made it, hon. Good to have you here. PG, what is that? Says Bill Haight, of course.
Exactly.
Stubbs is in the house. Great to have everybody here. Let's get to we got to the summit introductions. We brought everybody in with our introductions. So our first order of business is going to be creating your character. So here's basically what I'm looking for here. We have naming the character. Like for me, I don't want Bob Cena or John Flair. You got to be creative about it. Some other people, some other companies might not mind that. Now, a good example of the opposite is Rick Race, who was Ric Flair Harley Race combination, but he had a story behind it. He had a reason for it. So shout out to him in the chat and WF. So creating your character, naming it, and I'll ask each of these people, like, what do you look for or how do you use when you're creating your character? What are some of the tips and tricks that you like to use? So for me, it's being unique. It's being creative. And we're talking about the size of your character, the style of your character, maybe the face, the gear, and what's important to you when it comes to character creation. So Goddess, you're right next to me. You were the first one in. Let us know about what's important. And Goddess, and for those that don't know, I'll give everyone a little more introduction when people come in. Goddess that creates her characters is really into the layering of the characters and making the attires very unique and amazing. Lots of tits, lots of ass. I love it. So, Goddess, what are your tips or tricks or things that you want the people to know about when they're actually creating their character?
Okay, for one, you want your character to be unique. Yeah, they give us set general freaking faces to go by. Don't be afraid to get into face morphine and change it up. Change the eyes, change the eyebrows, change the nose shape, change the mouth shape, change the chin shape. I mean, do something to make it your own. You don't want to look like everybody else. Excuse me.
True.
You can do the photo overlay, but half the time it doesn't line up. And it's a bitch to fight it.
Yeah.
But just be unique. I mean, yeah, especially the names. You don't want to have I'm John Blanca Blancina or I'm Rowdy whatever that I mean there's a lot of rowdies out there, don't get me wrong, that's fine, but don't add the professional wrestler's name to yours and create some type of backstory. I don't give a shit if you're a god, a goddess like me, a witch, a demon, whatever the hell you want to be, but create the backstory to go with the character and make the character tell your story.
So, yeah, and that's a good point, too. She brought up one of my pet peeves. And I say this all the time, unless you're a character that has a lot behind it. Too many wolves, too many demons. But if you're going to be a demon or a wolf, be specific. Make it unique. And one more thing, Goddess, and I got to bust balls. Set your personality traits.
I did that one flipping time.
One time will bite you.
So what I'm showing you guys here, if you don't know, when you put your name of your character in, put the city in, and all that good stuff, these are the personality traits that help dictate how your character acts. Sure, the sliders are big. We're going to talk about sliders and movesets next week in more detail. But one specific example, see how loyalty's at 100, and shout out to Gav, who pointed this out, and we tested it thoroughly. If your character, and I have everyone on LT right now, if you're in a tag team, your loyalty's at 100. Because if you see right on the side, it says the camaraderie shared with other superstars reinforces trust and motivation between tag team partners to fight on the same page. What does that mean? If there's 5 teams in a rumble like we saw yesterday and this week, they don't fight each other as much.
Yep.
And you have to have 3 things set. Number 1, they have to be on a tag team, obviously. In universe mode if you're doing universe, outside if you're doing play mode. Number 2, in universe mode and outside, you go to edit superstar and you can edit. This is one thing I didn't know to do, is to set them as ally. So if they're a tag team, you're an ally, and your loyalty's at 100, that controls the player to not attack their partner unless they have to. This is something we've asked for in the game. We've wanted in the game to bring more realism to the game. So I was using Goddess as an example because, and she's amazing when she does her creations. I think it was 23 when she sent me her character and she didn't have personality traits at all. So I want to use it as an example. This week, this Friday, probably, we're all going to grab the game, play a game, and start creating our characters. When you do that, keep in mind some of the things we're talking about now. We're not telling you how to do it. We're just telling you how we've done it and how we've seen success in it. So your personality traits are big. Make sure you guys set them. Kassie, customer
Yes, sir.
creation of your character. Anything you want to add to the conversation?
Well, considering I don't personally make Cassie's physical character, I haven't since probably
I like making her
17, honestly.
But as a player, I mean, we need a player's perspective too. What do you look for in someone who's creating a character that's on the good side or that you enjoy?
Okay, so cohesion in the look. Like, if you got a lot going on down below with like every single color under the sun,
I know,
for like your shorts or your pants or whatever, and then you just throw like a random color that doesn't go with it up top, just because, like, it needs to make sense. Your outfit needs to make sense. Kassie wears all red because red's her thing. Occasionally throws in black because Nightwalker, whatever. But all my outfits make sense. Coug's outfits make sense. Goddess's outfits make sense. Make it make sense.
And the theme here is we're tying together making sense with your creation, your entrance, your move set, your story. Like, when you watch TV, and I always say I want a TV product, this is what we're talking about. Make it make sense. We've gotten to know Jay Savage, solo season. We'll talk to him next week with Twitch, and Totes My Goats, who was on the first CAW Summit. They've coined the phrase mastercrafting. That's what they call going in, really diving in, making sure it all makes sense. It's cohesive, like Kassie just said. And that should be a recurring theme when you're creating your character.
And even like,
Of
I'm
course
gonna
you
say
did,
this
Gav. Of course you
because
did.
I know there's some people out there you like to create your whole family. They do not all need to look identical. They don't need the same damn colors. They don't need the same damn face paint. Even if it is the same face paint, change colors, change something. They don't have to be fucking twins. They're mother, daughter, sister, cousin, whatever. They don't have to be twins.
So thank you so much for the super chat, Atticus. Speaking of personality traits, the movesets themselves are going to be having traits involved this year from what I saw. So there's going to be extra stuff. What that is AI move set extra settings where you can say this move. There's going to be 150 moves where you can say, you can set the frequency and when it's used. I only want this move used at the end, towards the end of a match. I want this move used more than all the other ones or whatever. So you'll be able to set frequency and stuff like that, which we'll talk when we get to the 2K25 stuff here coming up. Tag teams, make them look like a team. That's amazing. Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. We're bringing people together, and shout out to you, Jason Titus, and anybody else who's new or hasn't been here. This isn't about just my federation. It's about all these logos you see around us. It's about all the different eFeds that are out there. Another good point by Odds, face morphing, easy for me to say, is important. I've done some faces with face morphing. You cannot tell the difference if it's a CAW or a face photo. Evie Bloodyard, I'll bring her up again. I did on my stream the other night. She is a genius at face morphing.
She's so good.
She's the master. You're right.
I don't understand
Evie's abilities.
The eyebrows,
So talented.
The eyes, the noses. I mean, and there are limitations to face morphing now compared to what we used to be able to do. There's no body morphing, so that as well. But that's a great point, and I'm glad you brought that up because Odds, because a lot of people, I mean, I've been to a lot of shows, and we're not here to knock anybody's shows. If someone doesn't know how to do it, that's one thing. If you're just lazy, that's another thing. But I've seen default CAW Federation where everybody just has the default face, and that's okay if that's where your limitation is. I'm not knocking it, but you want to be creative to kind of make it, coordinate. It says if.
Yeah, we don't want everybody having Jeff Hardy face.
Yeah, I mean, there's Totes. We're just speak of him and he shows up. As long as the other guy we speak of it doesn't show up. So, like I said, there's going to be a lot of the same stuff that we discuss, and it all should tie together. Use different skin textures. They play a huge role. That's another good point, especially with someone like Goddess. I just talked a lot of tits, lots of ass, a lot of skin in some of her characters. If you don't have the skin tone matched perfectly, like I don't know who it was, so I'm not going to be specific, but someone did with the chest, and they wanted a lot of cleavage. It looks like the woman has hairy tits because of the shading. So be careful.
You have to be very careful with the shading. I do a lot of that. I customize outfits to make it look like there's nothing there. And you have to be very careful to match that skin tone. And don't just check it when you're building it. You have to check it in the ring because they look totally different in the ring. But I want to also say this. Any of you out there that I know personally, if you build a CAW and you're stuck and you're not quite happy with it, you're more than welcome to send it to me and I can tweak it for you. I've done it for a lot of people. I do it every year. I'm building 7 CAWs at the beginning of 25 for other people, Bill Haight included, which I'm honored. Mr. Haight, thank you very much.
Ask for help. If you don't know something, I do it all the time. I'm not the type of guy sitting up here saying, I know how to do everything and you should do it my way. If you know me at all, you know that's not me at all. I've reached out personally to all 7 of these people here for numerous different things, whether it's storylines, whether it's, making things match. I mean, Cougar and I had conversations about the Madness storyline. Mordrin and I have had conversations about bringing him back and how we are going to do it. Me and Count have been in conversations about the Madness storyline and things with him and Matt Storm. You know, me and Chance go back for years planning things behind the scenes first before we put it on a show. So by no means am I putting myself on any type of pedestal. You know, you see my ugly face only here and my big nose and ears and bald head, but don't let that fool you. These are some of the most valuable people in the community that I brought on. There's a reason these 7 are here for this one. And Tiny, you chimed in, but is there anything else that you want to mention about creating character and designing a character from the get-go?
As far as your character is concerned, I always have started with the name. I tell them, okay, what is your name? And then from there, build your backstory. Get a backstory that makes sense. And once you have that, then you can build your personality. You'll know your personality. You'll know what you'll look like, what you're going to act like. Like one of my characters I created is, for all intents and purposes, a goth cowboy vampire. And that was his backstory. So what I did was, from there, I said, okay, if you're going to look like a goth cowboy, this is how you're going to do it. The leather, the cowboy hat. And then he had his personality with that. And then with the attire, creating it, one point was not touched on is the materials. The different materials used for your attire will also give different looks. So let's say if you want a leather, but you're putting leather material on it and it doesn't look like a leather jacket, maybe try rubber. Maybe try vinyl. Maybe try plastic. Yeah. If you want a ring to shine, either do glitter or maybe perhaps do metallic. Playing with your materials will also give you different looks to your colors too. It sometimes tones them down, sometimes makes them brighter. Keep in mind though, some are in this DWS have autism or they do have a epileptic tendency. Yes. Please do not use the what is it? The iridescent rainbow, the strobe light color at the end, the glow. Please don't, because I have had people legit sometimes get sick from, I have to step away because I'm getting sick watching it. So
yeah, that's one thing that isn't even allowed in my company. There's no glow. I mean, rainbow, 50, and then they use a little bit, but not all. But glow, I don't even allow.
Yeah.
I sneak glow in. I sneak glow in.
He does.
If you tone it down, it's not as bad.
Yes.
If you use glow,
yeah,
at
10%.
100%.
Like 10% glow is all you need. 10, 20 tops.
You could tone it down, like Count said, or you can use a different material to give you that look that still gives you the rainbow look, but won't give you the glow. Like an organza could work in some sense.
Even pearl. Pearl's not bad.
Pearls can do that too as well. You're right.
So piggybacking on what Tiny said, number one, let me go back on what I said. If the woman is a werewolf, then hairy tits might work.
Well, I mean, but you have to make it valid.
I'm just talking about the texture, like you guys were mentioning, textures and colors and stuff like that too. It's wrestling. There's going to be a lot of black and red and white. Mm-hmm. That's going to be prominent for the most part. Mm-hmm. But I like those colorful characters, the shifties and those out there that have unique character sets and colors to that character. The names, Marley Good. Marley didn't have his real name. He didn't want to use it. And he wanted to play along. So in the DMs, we were talking about, I was looking on his Facebook. He was a race car fan. So we were making him a former NASCAR driver. Mm-hmm. The sponsor of his favorite race car driver was Goodyear. So we used Good as the final last name. He was also a big Bob Marley fan. That's how Marley Good became his name. So it's like
perfect.
So try to think of ways to name people. You know, sometimes someone come in, R2K. R2K just joined the company. Great guy. But I was like, I want more. I want more than just R2K. And he was like, well, they call me the Gunner. I was like, Gunner R2K. That's cool. You know, think about real wrestling. They're making it to do products based on those characters too. So merchandising, shit like that should tie in. Yep. You got a lot of characters that sometimes you could pull off a plain name and it could still be very dynamic. JP, I wanted more than JP. So we're looking at his look. And I was like, he's Jaden. He's Jaden in everybody's chats. So I was like, do you want to keep Jaden? Is that your real first name? Maybe you don't want to use it. He was like, no, Jaden's fine. I was like, all right, let's do something with the P. We're looking at it, pun intended. We're looking at it. I'm trying to think. He's red, white, and blue. He looks like, an all-American type character, Homelander inspired, basically. And Pride and Proud just worked perfectly. So Jaden Proud became born. So naming your character can mean a lot. And once again, this is all going to tie in with everything else.
Yeah, that goes back to the storyline behind your character. I mean, that's how you can figure a lot of it out. Storyline is key because you need that for a look that you're going for, and if you're stuck creating a name. You gotta have that storyline in your head or an idea of what I can create a character. This is what I ask people for information when I'm creating their character. I want your height, your weight, your name, and a piece of your storyline. I don't even want the whole thing. I just want the main part of your storyline, and I can create you a character that will fucking blow you away. And you can build your character or your storyline more off of the character that you've got in your hands now. And that's the whole purpose of it.
So here's a good point from Grand Prix. Basic name can be as simple as your middle name and the street you live on. Personalities can be based on your favorite characters from shows. Emphasis on based on, not exact replica. That is why on the LTD application, I have your favorite superheroes and villains, your favorite movies and music. Why do you think I do that? Because when I'm struggling for a nickname for your character or a move name, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, that's where I go. Rob Machete, he's a big Guns N' Roses fans. All his finishers and signatures, they're Guns N' Roses song names. And that helps make the character seem more realistic.
And there you go. There you go.
Realistic. Think we do as an accident? No.
It's not. It's not an accident. I can create a character quick, and people think, "Oh, she just threw something together for me." Oh, Jesus Christ! No, I actually put thought into it. I literally, on a bet, made a character within 5 minutes, and they put that character in their show, and they put her in a gauntlet match, and she started first, and she won the damn gauntlet. And I made her in 5 minutes. But I know now which moves go with what body type, what works better with what set you're putting on her. I knew it all already, so it was like it's easy for me now. Now 25 is going to be different because we've got different sliders and different things to play with, so it's going to be fun for me there.
Wally, I'm going to use you as an example, but it's for a good reason. Your character design is very basic. It's a monster type character based off Hulkish stuff and certain wrestlers to combine. When you first had your character, it was a mess. So I had to clean it up a little bit. And now look at the persona we've built from a plain Jane character. So you don't have to be super complex.
Wally.
So we used the Goldberg type of things because of the entrance. Now everyone chants Wally when you come out. So the point is, you can have a super complicated character with tons of levels. You can have a basic character with certain levels that still get over. Jaden Pickles wouldn't have been bad either, Dubs.
Yeah, and even if you're a shy person, you don't have to be shy with the character. Be a bold bitch. Don't be too bold, though, and turn into a dick or, we're going to come at you.
So if anyone realizes when Goddess, Kassie, or Tiny speak, I'm just going to let them go because they are who they are. And I said I could have done the show just with those four. And Cougar, I could have done with just those four, but this is just open forum banter. I'm going to send it to you guys, but by all means, chime in. Tell me to shut up if I'm talking too long or whatever. But Cougar, anything you want to add to this discussion about creating your character and designing your character from the ground up?
I was listening to the thing about having everybody look different and such. And in real life, everybody does look similar to their blood relative. For example, I've got book-in twins. That's what they are called. Book-in
Well, you are twins, though.
Wait a minute. I'm not done. I also have an older daughter.
Yep.
And she is a half to my book-in twins. So I kind of made them look similar by giving them the same hair color. My twins each have one green eye, one blue eye, whereas my other daughter has green eyes. You also mentioned they don't have to all wear the same color. Some people do that as a memorial because some of these characters are memorial characters. So
True.
if you look at all my characters, you will see lime green on every single character that I make.
Yeah, but I'm saying identically matching. Same outfit, same colors, same face paint. You
By the
mix
way,
it up. You
these
change it
two-
from one twin to another. That's my sister. I'm gonna.
Yeah,
you know.
they're sisters. They're gonna banter.
I'm
which
gonna
is
sit
fine.
back and eat popcorn. I'm gonna eat some
Yeah,
popcorn.
me too.
You want some popcorn?
Coogs has simple changes to her characters that you may not notice right away, but if you really study the twins and her daughter, they're different.
There's reasons behind it, and that's the
But
point.
there are
Exactly.
memorial reasons behind every single one of them, and I get it.
And evolving the character is another thing. So Blaze McCoy, when I create Jinx, his son, I copy Blaze over and edit Jinx because just like Cougar said, I kind of want similar face features, but not the same. I want you to be able to like, oh, you can tell that's his son or a little bit. That's realism. So I'd literally copy him over, make him smaller, change him up a little bit. Of course, different moveset and stuff. But at the same time, I do want a little bit of a resemblance because of families.
Yeah, and speaking of the there are reasons to certain things when at least I create. There is a past for myself, and purple and black was a very prominent fixture of my past. And Mr. U and I, when we came into the DWS, brought the purple and black because it is representative of that time in my past.
I wouldn't know the Utakers in anything but purple and black.
Yeah,
That's
same.
color for
It's a
them.
heritage.
Wait.
You created a heritage. People expect
Utakers wear other than purple? What?
That's like Cougs with the purple and lime. I mean, I wouldn't see it any other way.
And touching on it, Paul and Lita, when they introduced, got purple and black, but now they've evolved themselves. And now they do not wear the purple and black. It's just mainly me and Mr. U that do. There are similarities to each of the children, but they're not exactly like Cougar is saying. Absolutely a copy and paste and just a different attire. There are, again, their backstories will dictate. Their personalities will dictate. Who they choose to go with as far as girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife will dictate. What colors, what things they will pick up on and do. That all goes into the creation. That all should go in the creation. So yeah, not every one of my characters, even though I may be doing Ripper's son, he is not looking like a Utaker. They shouldn't be because they're not. If I make, let's say, Ripper himself, I did himself one time. I did not make him look like Mr. U. I made it look like Ripper, made it look like his character, what he wanted it to be, and we chose from there. Clinton, I did his creation. I think, Blaze, you use it. His demonesque. No, he doesn't look like anything that is out there or one of my family because it's him, his character. So I built it his way, and he don't look identical.
A little addition to take what we're talking about a little bit further that Totes is saying, even if they have face paint, morphing or adding the face scan's a big difference. And also, and I've talked to Vipiro and other people too, if you're just giving me Rey Mysterio's mask, I want more. But you can make your own mask. Vipero is a great example of using multiple pictures to make the mask too. And I did that with Daisy Spider. I did that with, some of the other ones, Butterfly, and the other ones that I made the masks with their own logo on the back, things like that, that you can take a face and add certain things to it to make it look a little more unique. And
Okay, here, the other thing somebody said out there, I can't see who it is because I'm not in the chat Also, another thing is what wrestler does your character take inspiration from? Okay, if you can't tell already, I think it's pretty obvious with my character especially. It's China and Beth Phoenix. I mean, that's
I was going to say, yep.
Goes after.
Yeah. And if
another thing that's in my application is what 3 characters do you compare your wrestler to, and there's a reason behind that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And we can talk about that with movesets when we get to that. Cougar, is there anything else you want to add to the creation of characters?
No, just you need to be yourself. You need to dig deep and find yourself. This is your alter ego for some people.
Mm-hmm. Use it. Use it as
Use
that
that-
power.
Yep. Because the person behind Cougar is not the person you see out there telling people off in the chats and telling them to, no, I'm not really like that. I'd probably get my butt kicked too many times.
NEW, good to see you, NEW. So now, ladies, shut the fuck up and let's talk men talk around here for a
Yeah,
little bit.
quiet, Cougar. Hey, Cougar. Men are talking. Men are talking.
Right, hey,
I don't
Blaze,
see any men.
you and Cassie go.
See, here's the one thing I do have power to do is mute all you bitches.
Blaze abusing his power? He would never do that.
They're gonna kill me for that.
Oh, you're in trouble.
You were so dead.
You were so dead.
You had to have known that was coming sooner.
Oh, it was beautiful.
So,
Really?
All right. I know they can control
Really?
themselves. I'm just playing.
Yeah.
So Count Z.
Blaze is running a fucking gauntlet tonight.
Yeah, Blaze running a gauntlet.
And of all people, is Chance and Mordrin just sitting there all nice and quiet, waiting for their turn. All right, Count. Anything you want to add to what the amazing ladies have already pointed out? A lot of great points. What do you want to add?
A lot of great points.
Creation of character.
See, the ladies are focusing on the digital side. It makes sense. We are the Digital Wrestling Syndicate. But see, with me, I've been doing eFeds for about 18 years pushing. So with me, I play a lot of D&D. So I look at character creation as you ask the basic questions, the 5 W's and the H. You go, who is your character? What is your motivation? What are your goals? You ask all those questions. Why do you exist? Why do you matter? Why should they care? You kind of craft your story just asking those questions, and you kind of have to kind of get in the mindset of the character. Is he kind of ego confident, but sometimes get arrogant and gets a little, short-sighted because he lets his, big head inflate, and then he doesn't see the reality. You kind of have to look at the flaws and the virtues of your character. And so you have to ask those questions when you're doing character creations, because then with the sliders you were talking about earlier, I purposely make my sliders with Count being egotistical, but also like treacherous, and like you never know where Count's going to be. He's going to sit back. He's not he's not Mordrin Nightwalker. I'm not going to jump down to 3 people and fight them all at once. No, I'm going to let them fight each other. I'm going to pick my spot, and I'm going to try to weasel a victory. That's Count.
That's a great point to add the D&D aspect in it. And you think about I wasn't a big D&D guy, but I know the aspect of it. You have all those different levels of the character personally that dictate what that character is like.
Yeah.
So Mr. Quiet Man over here, the man with a million monikers, Chance, the man who created this whole conversation. Anything that you want to add that either you want to elaborate more on or add to creation of your character?
I'm gonna start off by saying that there is no right or wrong way. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. This is your character at the end of the day. For me, my process is a little bit more like Counts. I take into consideration what I want. I build from a concept more than anything else. Like Tiny explained her process a little bit. I'm like the exact opposite of her. I don't start with the name. The name probably comes later.
Name is last for me.
I want to know where the fuck I'm gonna start. Like fucking Chance. My idea for Chance was that he was gonna be a fucking internet troll turned indie darling, and his big thing is that he pranks people, and that's what gets him over. He's a little shithead that likes to rub it in people's faces. And I started with that. The name came because he's supposed to be a shithead. What sounds like a shithead name? What sounds douchey? Chance. Chance sounds douchey. I need a good last name. Harper. Harper fits. Boom.
I used to always joke with you. Are you a rapper? Chance the Rapper. Remember them days? But it's a good point. And some people, I heard Goddess pressing buttons. I knew she kicked herself out or something. There she is.
Goddess and Count pressing around buttons together.
Now the order's all messed up thanks to Goddess.
Yep, all my fault. I kicked myself out. Damn it. Oh, there you fixed me.
Trying to get everyone back in order because I'm gonna go reverse order coming up. So like I said, remember we're still gonna talk on. We touched a little bit about on story and history, but we're gonna come back to that. We're gonna come back to entrances, which I will give Chance a lot of credit. He's the one that really got me in tune to, like, if you have a theme song, make sure it kind of matches up if it does, and the actual entrance. If you use a custom entrance, you know, it can make a big difference.
You gotta dig into it to make sure that everything presents the way that you want it to present, right? So if you're gonna be the guy with a lot of ego, you have to walk out looking like you have a lot of ego. You have to move in the ring like an egotist. You have to look like you're fucking looking down and thinking less of your opponent when you do these moves. You
Yep.
gotta find those
You find those moves that show off your personality.
really big.
So
my problem. You do whatever you do.
So here's yes, he and I will give him credit to that on the entrances. That's where I learned once we did the crossover from WU and we were, you know, evolving this art form, and I will stand on that. It is an art form because we are molding this game to make it what we want it to be. So on creation of character, we have one more, and the character of Mordrin Nightwalker, and just in general, anything you want to add to the conversation, Mort, about creating the character.
And that's been a really long thing for me because I've been playing the character of Mordrin so long that the creation has shifted over time. And that's a big thing is, you know, when I first created Mordrin, he was a brawler. He didn't care. He wanted to grab something and beat you across the head and shoulders with it. You know, he'd rather hit you with a chair than put you in a headlock. And then, and I'll go back to where we talked about, you know, the name and everything of the creation. My mentor in a lot of character development stuff from originally from Facebook wrestling and then Wrestler Unstoppable, Dr. Payne. You know, I was already using the name Mordrin, and it was just Mordrin.
I miss him.
And me and him were talking, and he's like, well, you need a last name. And, you know, we talked about the backstory. Basically, with Mordrin was he started fighting to get out of where he was. But obviously, he had no money for any of that or anything, so he would literally, you know, fight and then, like, hide out in the locker room somewhere and then sleep on the floor for a couple hours and then take off to start into the next town. You know, in kind of the middle of the night thing, which is where the name Nightwalker came from.
I think a point you brought up that I definitely want to talk about, and we've discussed it too. Mordrin, the character, has been doing this for a long time. So as he came back, he wanted to evolve the character. As an older wrestler, you're not going to do all the same things you did as a younger wrestler. So when he came to me with that and he was like, listen, this has changed and that has changed because, hey, I'm not going to be doing night walks all the time now as an older wrestler. So go to the chin check, use that more. And I was like, that's something a lot of people don't really think about. And I always think about Chris Jericho, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, and how he would evolve or take different personalities. So I guess try to keep that in mind as your character evolves. The longer you're here, it's okay to change him up a little bit or make him make more sense if he's older. So that was a very good point on actually.
Yeah, change is actually really good. Change is really good because I didn't start out as the Muffin Man. I started out as a cannibal, and it was a whole thing. And my story changed over time as events happened in my, you know, game, my character.
And that's a great point that a lot of people don't think about. You know, you just think create your character, throw it out there, see if they win or lose. But at the same time, it's reaction to your win or lose that matters too. Like, you know, if your character, and a lot of people who get too into the game get upset when they lose. Like, no, play into it. Like, have fun with it. Because sooner or later, sometimes sooner, sometimes later, it's going to turn around and the game will start to give you wins. But if you're playing, I always use Drum Monkey as an example. It was like a year before he started winning. So the dude lost like almost all the time.
Or Shulky's huge losing streak.
Yep. So you got to use that. I mean, how long did it take Kassie before she finally got that Battle Queen win?
4 years.
And you would get there and lose, get there and lose, get there and lose, get there and lose.
I was tickled pink to lose that title to her that time. I truly
finally.
so deserved it after all that time.
And instead of getting mad and rage quitting and getting pissed and bringing the chat down, Kassie played into it.
Yep, you got to play with it.
And it's just something that Chance told me a long time ago too that if you learn to lose, you're going to have more fun. And it still sticks with me. Mord, go ahead, finish your thought.
The one thing I tell people involved to that is, people bring up, well, you've been the world champion so many times. Yeah, that means I've lost it that many times too.
Yeah. And here's the thing. When Mordrin first came into the company, he didn't win all the time. And then he had some feuds with people that he didn't know. Because I brought characters back from before, like Mordrin, the Mordrin Mordrin angle. I was like,
those were fun.
And it's like, play with the other characters as much as you can. We're going to move on to the next part because that's a lot. I mean, that's a lot talking just about creating your character. And yes, next week we'll talk a little bit more about it because we'll actually be creating our character.
One more thing before you move on.
Go ahead.
The interaction bit is another thing that's really, really a big component. Consider how you are going to talk with other people and engage with the people around you as you're going into your character creation, because it gives you a little bit more of a sense of how you can make this character feel more alive, and it gives you like more shit to play with.
So, I mean, there's so many levels to it. And like I said earlier, you can create a basic character, but still make him complex. You can make a complex character with a simple backstory or something, So there's we continue to say there's no rhyme or reason. There's no one way to do it. But the benefit of this is we're all sharing our opinions and our best practices of what we've learned and done over the years. So we can all benefit from it. So Odds chimes in, says people have to understand and remember, if you are a heel, your goal in the end is to lose. Good point. The face is to also go over at the end of the angle. So if you learn to lose, it definitely helps out. One of my favorite things to do with Kelly Mavericks, when he first started, he lost almost every match, but I'd have him thank his opponent after every match. That is gold.
That is gold. And I'll tell you why.
Brilliant.
When I was first brought in and I came into LTD, me and Shalky, I swear to God, had the longest losing streak DWS wide, not just in LTD, but every company we were in. We never won a match. It took me 355 losses to get to the Battle Queen name that I won in LTD. And I saw Shalky losing, keeping her losing streak 365 days. She went almost 60 days later than me. And I won beating her. And she always kept a straight face. She always was thinking positive. Even when I won, I was still thinking about those that were losing. But with my losing streak, hey, you don't worry about the losses. You can always learn more from losses. Keep your positivity. Don't whine, don't cry, don't bitch, don't moan. Lita says it best when she says, don't be bitter, be better. Always try to find something to better yourself.
It's okay to whine. It's okay to sell it.
It's okay to sell it, correct. But not.
But don't go overboard, out of character, and take it, because their feelings of your character should be your feelings of who you are controlling the character. They should be separate feelings.
You're going to lose a lot more than you're going to win. Bottom line.
Probably lost her ass off.
Probably one of the funnest things, and you'll remember it, Blaze. In between world titles 2 and 3, where after I lost that second title, I couldn't win a match to save my life.
Yeah.
And Mark Caliber coined it best when out of the blue, everything just lined up and I just won my third world title in that 8-man elimination. The road to redemption.
You got to play along with what the game gives us.
Exactly.
That's that might be the new golden rule. I know the other golden rule was if you don't like the Fed, find another one.
Though playing along with what the game gives you has been the thing since I started in WU when we controlled the matches. Because I would talk to the people I was fighting, and if they won, they would continue the story with their victory. And if I won, then we would control the trash talk and like the story building in the scenes by whoever won the last match. That's how we would just determine who was going over in this part of the story. Was we had a match. Oh, they won the match. Okay, they're going to throw me in an air duct and I'm going to fall in a dumpster or something,
Now, do you know that iconic promo that Chance just put in LTD, where he referenced being hurt by his father at the time. That was an iconic thing that AI gave us. That AI at that point, at that portion of the match, it was a 7-match series with Chance going at Mr. U to gain his favor to marry Lita. The AI on the very last series match was a Hell in a Cell, made the tombstone of Mr. U look like legit. Chance broke his neck in the fall. They took it. Matter of fact, Chance was with me and Mr. U saying, is it okay if we run with this? Mr. U and I says, yeah, run with this. Let's do. So he legit. The AI gave us a move that looked like Chance had broke his neck. Of course, Chance lost, but he worked with it with, hey, I broke my neck. That iconic portion of the promo would never have made it into that promo had it not been for AI messing up, glitching, and making Chance look like he broke his neck.
So a couple of things that you guys brought up I want to touch base on. Number one, Bill Haight brings up a good thing about hometown. If it makes sense and it matches up to the character, that can help as well. Another thing, what Count said, if you have a D&D background, you get a lot of that already about following the story and playing along with whatever the dungeon master gives you. So, so I can tell those who are role-playing RPGs type people that they can catch on a little better. But we got a lot of people here throwing some really good comments in here. One of my favorite things, that was already, one of my pet peeves is where a Fed, every other CAW is 7 foot tall doing shooting star presses. Well, we're going to get to that when we get to the 2K25 talk, because that is limited now. But there's two sides to that coin. The important word he said there, he says every other CAW is 7 foot tall and doing those moves. Shifty is like the excuse to the example. Like, he has a reason he can do. Like, if you have one character doing that, it's okay. But like NEW says, if you have 10, super heavyweights doing flippy shit the whole time, it's going to
you have great Kali Rey Mysterio. You have great Kali Rey Mysterio.
Yep.
Twitch in the house. Twitch will be my guest next week as we dive more into move sets. But we're gonna go
on that point. I'd say as a company owner, because I check over people's move sets when I get them. If I see that you're 7 foot tall and you have like the moves of Rey Mysterio, I'm going to ask you, how can you do it?
Yeah, that's a good practice.
You can't tell me how, then I'm going to tell you need to change it.
Showrunner good practice. No matter how you run your show, still dive into the call when you get it to see if it follows the standards that you are running your show by. A heel wouldn't say hello to everyone in the chat. That's a good point. And at the same time, let's use the Devin Wolf thing. Devin Wolf, Riley plays that character so well. She doesn't want anybody to say hi, so now everyone's saying hi. I love it. And plays right along, feeds right into it. First joined a DW. Yes, Azrael was pitiful when he first started. And he didn't take it very well at first either. But here's the thing. He eventually reached out to other people, learned the system, learned to play along, and did so much better.
Azrael's so much better. Azrael's done so well, and it's a nice metamorphosis of his personality and his character.
We don't expect people that are new to catch on
so much.
Yeah, you're not going to catch on right away. No one here expects you, if you've never done this before, just to catch on right away. Sometimes it takes a little while. First, lost 6 straight months before winning. And that's, if you play into that, you could really adapt that character. Speaking of adapting, Atticus, perfect timing. Thanks for the super chat. Learn to adapt. You should go in expecting to lose.
Oh, don't ever expect. I don't even expect to hold my titles half the time. It's just like, if I win, I win. Yay. Goddess gets to be the bitch for everybody else to complain about. If I lose, oh, well, I'm getting back in line, bitch. I'm coming after you. That's
exactly
how I look at it.
Primetime's new to all this. Primetime is very new to this. I found him over on Vince McSham's streams and stuff like that. He's a big wrestling fan. Always wanted to be a part of it. So Primetime jumped in my DMs. And here's the thing. When you're as loyal as someone like Primetime and all the streams in my DMs, want to be involved, he's come a long way. He sends me all the pictures of the cause he wants to be a part of this. But he'll admit he didn't know what he was doing at first. But reaching out, what is that beeping?
All I got to say is Primetime has done very well, and I'm very proud of Primetime.
Another point to be made, not to put too much don't put too much into your character. I love disagreeing with odds because he's a debater.
Yeah.
If you put too much of yourself in a character, you take everything personally. And that's a good point. However, I'll counterpoint that. You can either make your CAW the extended version of you, something you wish you could be,
the amplified,
or something completely different. There's no wrong answer to it. But I think Odd's point is, if you're going to make yourself that character part of you, don't take shit personally when someone comes at you or doesn't like what you do or whatever. So
it's like when I call.
You can't take it to heart. If you take shit to heart, and at the end of the day you click off that show, and you're sitting there in a bad mood, you're going to cuss your family out or your pets out because
you guys keep saying it. You guys keep saying it.
Don't take it.
Yeah, at the end of the day, Blaze McCoy hates that. But at the end of the day, when I insult Blaze, I want Blaze to be mad at me.
Yeah, and Lord Amadeus, shout out to you real quick, and I'll let you go, Mord. LA, welcome in. Definitely a D&D inspired, and someone who runs still a WU company, which is still similar to what we do, but different at the same time. So shout out to you, LA. Thanks for popping in. Mord, finish your thought.
Yeah, I go back to the last Combat Kingdom they did with the Brand Warfare, where I got to the finals, and I lost. I took that as an opportunity to show a different side of Mordrin. You saw more of the, dejected and just sat in the middle of the ring, just looking down, shaking my head. I came on the talk show and was like, I failed, I'm sorry, and then just left it at that. Something you wouldn't see from Mordrin in the past.
Yeah, and
we also seen that with Chance when we lost Chance for 350. He was showing that side too.
I've said this a million times. When I watch wrestling, whether it's digital or real, I want three things in my wrestling show. I want to be entertained, I want to be amused, and I want to be surprised. So if you go outside the box with your character because the game gave you something you normally wouldn't do, like Mord's saying, and run with it, that goes a long way. Let me check the chat real quick. Got a couple people popping in. Vipiro, very new, very young. I mean, we're mostly grown people here. Not that you're not an adult, Vipiro, but younger than a lot of us, but able to play along. Firestar,
and if you ever
just starting in her 20s, she's never done e-fetting before. I brought her in because she kept coming around to the shows. I've known her for years, and I was like, Firestar, you want a character? You want to play along and have fun? Now, some of the people who are newer sometimes needs more guidance. That's not a problem. Riley's in the house too. Oh boy, at least we can read your laugh and not hear. I could just hear it. like nails on a chalkboard. I think I deleted his song from my little thing down here.
I'm not sorry. I can imitate Riley's laugh again for you.
Are you?
I will hurt you. Don't you do it
in the ring and test your luck?
He is here.
Then welcome to There's a Belt in My Hand.
Oh, shut the fuck up, Riley. All right.
Yeah, shut up, Riley.
And now look, in character shit still happening here for LTD. I don't know who we are, but we'll find out sooner than later.
We will.
We're gonna go in reverse order for entrances. So, Mordrin, anything you want to add? So, for me, real quick. Entrances and theme song. I'm a DJ type dude, music guy. I love the entrances. I'm one of those guys who I don't want the game to do the entrances. Number one, it has a lot of names in there, but it doesn't have everybody. I'm Blaze McKay on everyone's channel that uses the entrances, but I want to do the entrances. This is just my personality. This is how I want to do it. I want to be able to do the entrance. I want to do the ring announcing, and I want music. This is not a knock on anyone who doesn't use music because most people don't. It's not easy. And for years, I had my microphone next to a speaker trying to make it sound right. Now with the sound card, it's a little better. I'm still having audio problems, but you guys are pointing it out. I'm working it out. The music, Drum Monkey's theme song, Goddess's theme song, Chance's theme song, Shifty's theme song. I could sit here. I made a fake album cover for you guys because you love the theme song so much. And that adds so much to a character for me. When I watch wrestling and you hear the glass break, I guarantee you everyone in the chat can tell me whose entrance if I say, here is the beginning of the entrance. And you hear glass break. Everyone's going to know exactly who's coming out. So in making these AI songs, taking it to another level. Now, here's the thing with the AI stuff. I don't want to get too crazy.
Repulski.
The logos, and all that stuff out there. I don't want too much of it. But at the same time, when you hear cover, you know Cowboy John's coming out. So it's certain things like that. Vipiro has it. The Scorpion, Ryan Mannion. I found a nice song on YouTube, which was "Get Over Here," and everyone knows that's Scorpion. And it's a great way to, you know who's coming out. It's close. And it identifies with the character. It makes the character. And now I'm at another level where a Daisy Spider, for instance, she uses the J Uso yeet. I wanted the music to bounce whenever I want the drop to happen whenever she starts doing the yeet with the crowd. I had to edit the song, but when I got it, it made the experience feel like I was at a wrestling show because they're doing the spider, as I call it, because I want to evolve it. But entrances and themes. Here's another thing. My pet peeve. I don't want the name Rey Mysterio behind you when you're walking to the ring.
Yeah,
I get it. A lot of people do that because here's my character. I use Rey's entrance, so I just set all the Trons to Rey. I get that. However, I want generic. Like if I could wish for one thing in this new game, it's more generic entrance Trons.
Okay, I will say this. Please make sure you change the Trons because as show promoters, we get a strike or we'll get in trouble from YouTube if they see Rey Mysterio, Triple H, any of that on the screen, we get zapped.
The video part, but even some of those Trons, like I'll preview it with the Minitron, but then different Minitrons show the name.
Right.
So it's tough to do that. I get it.
Oh no, I go through and change every single one of them to what I want it to be.
Every single one too. I go down to the general purpose and
most everybody that comes out
basic color, I use that.
But if you use the basic, but like for me, okay, I wanted fire behind mine, but I didn't want Kane. Akira Tozawa has a real unique fire format in his background.
Yeah.
In like 9 out of 10 Minitrons, you just see that unique fire. But that one that I use, it says Akira Tozawa behind me. And I hate it.
No.
So I had to go change it. Some people, and here's another good point, and this is a good point NEW brought up, you can turn them off. Yeah. What have a lot of us started to do? I use a custom Tron behind you without a video. It's just the logo of the show now. That adds unique personality because that's the show you're watching. Because I don't even use the arenas that have the WWE banners on the back. I don't want that on mine. If someone's doing a show where they're mixing real life characters and created ones, that might fly. Some people don't give a shit. Me, that's just my pet peeve. I want the entrances to feel like a unique entrance. And my setting in my company is 75 years from now. It's in the future. There are no other companies in the world, quote unquote.
LTD is it.
It's the last remaining one. So that I did that for a reason. So people can't come in and say, I have 17 world titles in this company and that company. That's great. I love it. Some companies don't mind if you come in and talk. Some companies have agreements with other ones where you can bleed storylines and championship history and stuff. But if you come into LTD, and I talked about strong personalities, there's 7 of them right here with me. If you come into LTD as a new wrestler and you start bragging, in ABCDW, I had 10 world titles, they're going to shit all over you.
Oh. So that'll be kind of a licking my chops moment.
Yeah, it's
that'll be great. I have so much fun.
It's not you personally. It's the fact that you're bragging about other federations without really knowing what's going on here.
Now, in the custom creations, though, if they do it like they said they might, I'm fingers crossed, but I doubt it. If we could make our custom entrances like we did for UW and we'd pass, or just pass them on there and have people, please go watch my video. If we could put those on the Tron, that would be freaking amazing.
Yeah, the thing with custom videos is too the game. Now, here's the thing, and we'll talk about it when we get to 2K25 here soon, because we're going to buzz through these next couple segments. The sandbox, the ability to really dig deep. It's not going to come until old gen falls off. Once PS4, PC, and all that falls off, I think we will get the ability that PlayStation 5 and other consoles can handle. You can only put so many custom Trons on there. Totes, I'll use him as an example. He does a very good job when he does his stables. If someone comes out with that stable, the custom Tron is behind them with their stable. I did that for one stable war because And I found out with the custom video thing, if you do too much, it's going to fuck shit up. This game doesn't
you'll be in Glitch City. Yeah.
it doesn't like a bunch of custom anything. So you got to be very careful with that. So Mordrin, we're going to start with you on this one. And this one, we're going to anything you want to add about the entrances, not necessarily a theme song, but just entrance of character creation altogether.
Well, the couple of things I look at. One of them I did get, like you mentioned, from Chance. I did the same thing years ago with him and I talking. Is I look for a music style, and then what entrance motion will fit that music style, as well as that will fit the character. Because I mean, I could have Mordrin come out there jumping up and down and all that. The reality is he's an old man. If he does all that, his knees aren't going to be anything by the time he gets to the ring.
You're going to break a hip.
Pretty much. So it's got to fit both areas.
Very good point.
Personally.
Very good point. Chance, this is the one I want you. I mean, you've been the one I've talked about before that really got me in tune to, hey, we can really make these entrances realistic. We talked about, me and Chance have had a lot of talks about, you do a custom entrance, but it doesn't link together. He comes out and poses. Next thing you know, he's walking down the ring. Putting it together to make sense. So what else do you want to add to this conversation, Chance, about the importance of an entrance theme and such?
If you're gonna mix and match your parts, at least try to find animations that look like it's actually the next frame. Don't just teleport from one position to the next one. Don't start walking slow down the ramp and then start skipping midway down. You want it to actually blend well and keep your character's personality at the forefront, because that's what you're presenting. And especially with the theme music, you can look for something that's gonna fit your emotions, your animations, but the main thing that you want to look for your theme music is, what does this song say about my character? You got to find that, because that's what's going to make everybody identify your persona.
Yeah. I mean, that sums up pretty much I keep saying conversation when I'm talking to Chance. It's not a pun, but that was it. It was like, man, yes. And that's how I found this world, is being in WU and people making their entrances. Who was the beaver guy? What was his name?
Eaton Beaver, yeah.
Eaton Beaver.
I think he was the first one I saw, but then I found a whole bunch, and I was like, holy shit. They're
Eaton Beaver and Iron Horse.
Yep.
They're using the 2K game, so I can thank Eaton Beaver for me being here doing EFED. Because those were the first ones I saw. I was in W and I'm thinking, man, they're using the 2K game. And I'm thinking back when I was on Facebook with LTD doing screenshots of old SmackDown games or whatever, just so they can have an avatar instead of using a real life avatar. So it's the entrance can add so much to the character. Count, is there anything else you want to add on entrances?
Oh, yes. I was going to say, when you are making a
Never
custom...
mind, I don't give a shit what you have to say.
Well, I don't care if you...
I want my aesthetic back now. I'm sorry, I had to do that.
But if you're going to use the Miz on the ramp, but you want to use Kane going into the ring, you got to make sure that their animations kind of match up so it's believable. Because you don't want to be gyrating in one, and then all of a sudden it switches, and now you're on your knees, or you're walking very stiff. It doesn't work. You kind of have to build the same momentum with every scene you put. And then your song
and your interest should be fluid. You want it to match your character. You don't want cut. You don't want to be able to tell where it's been cut and glitched together.
And to put a point on that, last year to mess with Blaze, I made Count, and then he was walking down the ramp, and then as soon as he got to going in the ring, he had a metal pipe in his hand for no reason, and he ran into the ring with a metal pipe. And Blaze is like, "Why, Count?" I'm like, "Because I know it annoys you."
Yeah, but at the same time,
he told me I'm gonna so fuck with Blaze on this.
I did it on purpose.
But at the same time, now I got to say Count's holding his pipe in his hand.
Yeah, exactly. Just for no reason. It's just messed you live. It was fun.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, entrance motion, picking it to fit your character, like Kelly says, is one.
Yeah, you want to suit the vibe.
whether you have music or not, that's neither here nor there. You can still do a great entrance. Shifty, perfect timing. I mean, the Shifty dance. Here's the thing: we had that song that was part of the game for his dance, and everyone loved it. It was perfect, right? And when it went away, it got copywritten. That song, that generic audio, got copywritten hit because I guess the melody or something picked up. And people, he didn't like it. I didn't like it. We had to change the Shifty dance, and it was like, how can we change the Shifty dance? Then the animation, the dancing that he did was gone in the next game. We had to find another dancing animation, and luckily we did. But now with the AI song mixed with that and his commentary in it, one of my favorite entrances. And how much does that add to that character? Like I could be down or whatever, and then Shifty's song comes out. Yeah, it was Rich Swan's old entrance. Gab remembers. But that's the thing. You can really add to the character with the entrance. With the ladies here, anything else? We'll start with Tiny. Anything else you want to add on about entrances?
Gordson, I'll piggyback off yours. As obnoxiously annoying as it was, I don't know anybody who would not end up whistling along with that song because it makes the character.
Yeah, I mean, it goes a long way for me, more than other people. I think it goes a long way because of how I present the show. Some places, there's some places where they don't do entrances, and that's fine. If you want to concentrate on the in-ring stuff a little more, have a generic entrance here. I had to do this too. It's theme song, which doesn't seem like it would be a wrestling theme song, but it just matched his character.
Every time I hear this, I feel like I'm going into a kindergarten class. Like, oh, play date, cool.
I forgot how much I love this song. I love this. It's a joyous.
Someone said it earlier too, this like matching the style. Mordrin was talking about it. Like, if your character is like Tyson Parker, my guy, one of his nicknames is the hip hop junkie. If he had anything but a hip hop song coming out, it wouldn't seem right, So like matching the style means a lot too. Kassie, anything else you want to add on with entrances?
I just know that when I changed mine, I had my son-in-law actually create something for me because he does music. So mine is 100% original, just for Kassie. Will never be copywritten.
No, and that's I respect that and I admire it because I deal with the copyright. A lot of people don't care. A lot of people don't realize, and a lot of people say, "I'm not monetized. It doesn't matter." It does.
It does.
It can matter. I mean, if you play the wrong song and that band or that production company wants to strike you, that's a strike. Or you could lose your channel if you do.
You could lose your channel. Yeah, too many times you're going to lose it. They're not only going to put up with so much.
Well, there's Kassie. Goddess. Since we're on you, there's a part in Goddess. Goddess wanted to change her entrance. I'm like, fuck no, it's perfect. She shakes her ass in the beginning and literally in the song talks about walking when she starts to walk. If I time it right.
I got so lucky with that song because I was using that everybody bleeds the same, because my message, we're all fucking human, don't throw race, religion, and any of that bullshit at me.
It does sound like a Jeopardy theme.
I got so lucky when I found that song from Iffy, and I was listening to her podcast, and she plays it on her podcast. And I said, Izzy, I messaged her. I said, Izzy, I said, I play a wrestling game. Can I use your song? Is it copyrighted? She goes, no, you're not copyrighted. None of my stuff's copyrighted. You can use any of them. And no, this song is B to a T.
Anything else you want to add about entrances, Goddess?
Make sure somehow they fit your characters. Make sure they're fluid. And for God's sakes, don't make them 3 minutes freaking long. A lot of people use the longest entrance they could find. Oh, I got to throw this in there. I got to throw that. That is exactly why I quit using entrance amount of time.
Gotta stop calling me out. Gotta stop calling me out.
Is that Goddess? Is that you with the background?
No, that's not me. I don't know who that is, but it ain't me.
All right.
I hear it too.
Cougar, we're just talking about entrances and theme music if you have it. Like Cougar has the AI song that we worked out that is amazing that we played earlier. Anything you want to add about entrances, Cougs?
Not really. I'm very generic when it comes to my entrance. I will go find the one that's in there that matches her personality best. I'm really upset because they took away, I believe her name was Melina.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
She did that cat stretch and then rolled under the bottom rope. That was perfect for Cougar.
Yeah.
And then I moved to the one that did the like snake dance. And then I saw everybody using that. So I had to switch to somebody else.
Yeah. I mean, and one thing we didn't talk about, which goes in addition to what we're talking about, would be tag team entrances and stuff like that as well. So, I mean, that's another level to it. And hopefully we'll get even more entrances this time around to have. Like, remember Jake Bagwell had the 5-minute entrance and we played along with it, you know, so it made people want to hate him and he was a heel, like people were saying in the chat. If you have a really long entrance, sometimes that helps get over as a heel because people are like, hurry the fuck up.
Yeah, hurry the hell up. Come on now.
But it's all in fun. And that adds
my long entrance fits me.
Yeah, it does.
I'm just happy no one uses the demon over and over because I remember there was a point where everyone was using the demon's entrance, and that entrance was so long.
Yeah, yep.
But none of your guys' right now are freaking over to whatever minutes.
No, we're good.
I mean, they're not 3.5 minutes, 4 minutes like some of them were coming out. I'm like, oh my God, would you kill it already?
And Jake was that. It was the Bobby Roode one, right?
Yeah, he was like 3.5 minutes, 4 minutes.
Called it a big toilet or a couch or something that he had to have lowered for him to come down.
That seems like Jake. That's Bagwell. I know Bagwell.
So now this one here, we're not going to talk a lot about, mainly because next week, Solo and Twitch will be on with me, and we're going to delve more into movesets. But we're going to quickly go around. The thing I want to point out, it goes along with the theme of today's show, is making it all match up, making it all line up. Like I've said this a million times. If you watch the game close enough, your signature one will set up your finisher one. They'll hit the signature one, and then he'll stand in that pose, get ready to hit it. The Blaze does the burner. It's a fireman's carry cutter, and he's down. Then he stands there getting ready for the fisherman buster. He's going to do that next. He's going to do the fisherman driver, which is the hook, line, and sinker. So what I tell people, and it doesn't have to be this way, but it helps the realism if your signature one is not a pinning move. You can do it that way, but if it's a non-pinning move, it will set up your finisher one. At the same time, when I set out my applications, it's a rule in the application, you can only have, I don't want finisher one or signature one as a submission move. We used to have issues with that. I doubt it's a big issue now, but it used to be like if finisher one was a submission move, he would like do it more often. I think it was back in 19 or whatever. But the reason,
it was a while ago.
Yeah, the reason I say signature two or finisher two should be a submission because we do submission matches. You know, you want to have a submission finisher. It doesn't have to.
Yeah, I remember I didn't have one the one year.
Cougar didn't have one, and she won the Tap Out Princess title. She won the championship without having that as one of the four. So there's no rhyme or reason. I mean, people can sit here and say these sliders are the best, or this way to set up the character is the best, or this is it. I mean, we just saw 35 beat 100 a couple of weeks ago. So you know, no matter how you set up the
Harvey Gibson.
And I'm not arguing with the fact that there are certain, I just proved that setting a slider a certain way is going to affect the game. Yes, of course it will. The finishers and signatures, if you stagger them and make it more and more, you're not going to see 10 of the same finisher. After the third one, it's like a 90% chance the match is over. So there are definitely specific things with sliders, game sliders, and individual sliders that can affect it. But when it comes down to move sets, and we'll quickly go through this one, I just want one thing from each of you that you look for designing a move set or in a move set. And this time we're going to start right in the middle with count.
Hello, I am arrived.
That's you. And when I say real quick, I mean quick, not like take 25 minutes.
What was the question? I wasn't listening.
Anything that you want to add? Yeah, real quick, one thing that's important to you about setting your move set in the game.
Fluidity. It's basically moves that flow together. So you want your corner moves to not kind of flow into your other moves. You want moves kind of work together, so it kind of like flows naturally in the ring.
So what some people called finisher spamming was the term that I heard when we started really getting into this, and that's someone who just loads their whole move sets up with finishers.
RKOs and pedigrees everywhere. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Totes was talking about this on his show the other day. That doesn't always make you better.
No.
It actually messes up the character a lot sometimes if you have too many of them. It doesn't guarantee you're going to win or do any better. Shout out John Breakdown in the house, another content creator. Good to see you. We'll go to Cougar. Cougar, anything when, as far as moves or moveset that you want to add to it?
Generally, I do not do my move sets because I don't understand all that crap. I send it to either Blaze or to Goddess. However, I am disappointed that I am not seeing Cougar walk the ropes or do any aerials because she is a mutant feline, so she would have that ability at 6 foot.
I didn't do your moveset this year, sissy. That was Blaze.
Yep.
So here, let me talk about a couple things about how I do movesets. I have 3 different ways of doing them. There are 3 ways in my world to do a moveset. Number 1 is the super intricate, go through everybody's move, each move, tailor it to that person. That is the ideal. That's what some out there like Totes and them call master crafting. That's going through every move and setting it. Now, there is a second way to make a move set. On your application, I specifically asked you for 3 WWE people that are like your character in the game. What I will do is I will do the copy to superstar, and I'll do, all right, this guy wants Brock Lesnar's mat moves. So these ones, like every other one's Brock. And then he's also a little bit of Cena. So Cena's every other one. And then copy that over. And then maybe a little bit of Seth Rollins he wants for the taunts and shit. So then I do Seth for taunts and this and maybe just the entrance stuff. So I will use 3, not get super into the character, but tailor generically to the CAW how that character wants. I like these 3 guys or who my guy is. So that's the second way to do it. The first way is definitely the main way everyone should do it. Go through your character, move by move by move. He would do this. He would never do that. The third way is I don't really recommend, but a lot of people do it this way. I'm a high flyer. Give me Rey Mysterio's entire moveset. That's out there. There's nothing wrong with that, but it kind of goes against the uniqueness, originality that the game gives us the ability to do.
Exactly.
I spend 10 hours. I spend about 10 hours making my moveset. It's
when you just throw somebody else's moveset on there like a pre-made, like one of the real wrestlers out there, you're not really creating a wrestler. You're copying the wrestler.
Yeah. So
creation, go in there and tweak it and do your little things.
Same thing with the entrances and stuff. When I said you just copy over someone's entire thing, it happens. It's out there, but this is up to the showrunner. Like I said, there's a million different ways to do it. If the showrunner just wants generic move sets based on one character, that's fine. If he wants to do a morphing of 3, now when I do some of the characters, I will set them like
I'm gonna hurt whoever has that squill.
That one hurt. That one hurt.
So I will set the 3 to the 3 characters that they want it like, then go into each type and tweak it a little bit. That's another way of morphing it without going through every single move. You set the 3 characters, different stuff. Then you go in and you oh, this one shouldn't be there.
That's exactly how Goddess is built. She does her favorites and then she goes in and tweaks and then adds the booty buster. And thank you for everybody out there who e-feds with me and does not use my signature move. I appreciate you.
Why? What are you talking about?
The booty buster.
Oh, to you. Yeah, and
I do the booty buster.
Well,
yeah,
you
does,
can. I mean.
So that's another point. And this is, once again, designed to the person running the show. I was talking with Totes the other day, and he doesn't want anybody to have the same finisher if he can help it. That adds realism, but to some extent you can do that, some extent you can't. I don't want the same entrance for a lot of people. So if I have 5 people that do the CM Punk entrance, maybe not. If there's 2, that's different because you got a different music to it or whatever. So once again, it goes to the creator, however they want to do it and how they plan on doing it. Chance, anything you want to add for movesets?
Nope.
All right. And
Yeah,
like I
but
said,
I like the fluidity. If your movesets make sense, you good.
and
Yeah,
that's
fluidity is important.
like I said, tying everything together and making them fluid is the main thing. Make it make sense. Take a little extra time. Don't rush just to throw your CAW together and get it up just to be the first. That doesn't give you anything. There's no prize for that. So
That's like going into YouTube comments and going first.
Yeah, I
see what I do with a lot of mine is, especially with the longevity of the character of Mordrin, I will copy the previous moveset and then I will look at it and say, okay, he's older again. What doesn't fit now that he's older? Like, taking the Nightwalk out and going with the punch for the chin check, because he is older, he's not going to have that power base anymore. So more of a striking base. And I do that with the entire thing every year.
And this is kind of on top of what we were talking about. The CAW will hesitate if the moveset is all over the place. That's correct. I mean, there is no rhyme or reason, but if you don't make it make sense, at least to a point, you can have issues. Like Ben points out here, Grand Prix is correct. That can let's see.
You want to be careful with some moves you select, because if you are the type of person who gets upset when you lose matches and you got a bunch of moves that have slower animations or that have like a more likelihood to miss, like those discus lariats, good luck, motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean, this is it. Don't have a finisher that goes after the leg, but your whole moveset focuses on the head. Perfectly said.
Yep,
if you talk about Blaze real quick, he's all upper body. He skipped leg day. So I don't have hardly any kicks or anything in there. It might be a drop kick, but it's all upper body shit. Like, so he skips leg day. You want to beat Blaze, you're going to attack the legs because he's all upper body. So the moves are all based on doing damage with the upper body part. Some
hit point ratios make sense because Count has his weak legs, but my head is really hard.
And I think, Mordrin, I know where you're going to go with this, and I might be wrong, but, targeting the head to set up for a finisher like the chin check or the Nightwalk. Go ahead.
When I create, I set whatever finishers I want first, and then look at, okay, they affect these parts of the body. And then I work backwards from the finishers.
Yep.
Just because the name of some of the move names will match the character, so it makes sense to use it for the character. That's a good point too.
Exactly.
Where are we at here? We talked a lot about this earlier, so I mean, I don't know if there's anything else to add because we've already kind of discussed the importance of having somewhat of a. Now, this is not a necessity. You don't have to have. You can just be. I'm a pro wrestler. I'm here to win championships. That's a straightforward story. That's what your character is. That's fine. But the more involved it is, to me, I think that it can add so much to a character if he is, for instance, a fisherman. So Blaze was a fisherman who turned into a businessman. He was a guy who lived in the lunatic hick from the sticks, the country boy, which I am not, but Blaze is, fishing, hunting, and all that good stuff. And a lot of his moves are the fisherman buster, the fisherman suplex, the fisherman this and that, and that makes sense with the character. So having a story isn't, I'm saying it's not a necessity, but it can go a long way. If it's just Azrael, former police officer turned mercenary, Marley Good, former NASCAR racer, like that adds to the character a little bit. It doesn't have to be super detailed, and if it is going to be super detailed, it has to make sense. I've known some people that have a storyline that doesn't really make sense with their character, but at least they're trying. To me, reaching out if you need help adding a story or having something, there's no wrong or right answers to this, but
and just ask. Don't be afraid. I mean, we're all willing to help anybody. Storyline, promo, whatever it may be. Help with the call, help with the show, help with promos, whatever. Just ask.
And
we won't bite.
Piggyback off that, Goddess, one of the biggest things I will say is to be open-minded with it.
Yeah, you got to
100%.
The greatest example I use is Kassie and Mordrin.
Yep.
There was literally a joke going on in another company with Chance saying hashtag Mordrin might be my daddy.
Yeah.
And Kassie jumped on it
I
to have
actually
fun.
started that hashtag.
Oh, Kassie started, yeah.
I started.
But, you know, they were both doing it. And the showrunner was like, well, hey, since you just said that, I have the results. And Kassie, you are a Nightwalker. We had no discussion
Mind you,
of this.
prior to that, Mordrin and I had spoken to each other. Like, we were barely acquaintances. Like, I knew of him through WU, and we've interacted here and there in stream chats, but we weren't quote unquote friends yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I messaged him. I'm like, look,
They're still
if
not
you
friends. They're
don't
still
want to
not
do
friends.
this, we can totally be like, oh, they fucked with the results. It's not real. And Mord's like, I don't care. We can run with it. I'm like, let's go.
And look at Lita and Chance, the power couple that they were, started as a joke dinner to counteract somebody trying to get with Lita that was not taking no for an answer.
Yep.
And Chance put together the secret admirer and the secret dinner, and then a power couple became from that. So yeah, jokes
Cougar.
can end up being powerful things too. They work with.
So we're getting a lot of feedback from somebody. I can't
Sis,
figure out who it
sis,
is.
are you at work? Because that sounds like the door where she works.
I'm
Actually,
thinking it's
number
because
one,
Tiny
I
and
was
I are sitting
muted.
across the room.
Yeah, Cougar's muted.
I don't know. Has it always been there?
no, it just
and I
comes
work
No, it comes and
outside.
goes.
There it
I
is.
can go in another room.
I don't know what that is. I don't see anybody gyrating when it's happening, so it's hard to tell.
Cougar,
Gyrating. Oh my god. Okay.
Cougar, real quick, do you have anything to add about, like, you talked about it earlier, how, you know, the past of Cougar ties into some of her gear and some of her mannerisms and some of her moves? Like, anything else you want to add about history or story to a character?
Well, like, you have to commit. Like, Cougar is a mutant, and there are times that she's going to trip you with her tail. And you're going to say, where'd the tail come from? It's wrapped around her waist with a belt. If you notice, she's always got a belt on.
I dig it. See, and if you make it make sense, like, to some extent, I'll use who was it, Sly Cooper? He had a tail when he came down to the ring, but I was like, I don't want you to wrestle with that tail. Is that okay? You know, some places are a little more lenient with stuff like that, but like Cougar has a reason. She just gave you the reason. You know, so it's like there's other companies that deal more in the supernatural stuff. I'll dabble here and there with storylines based on it, but I'm not really I don't want people in LTD teleporting and stuff like that. But if it makes sense for your story of your federation, go for it. Because I love that shit. It's just each federation is different. So backstories can help create conflicts with other wrestlers in storyline. Good point. A serious wrestler will have issues with a flamboyant wrestler. So that's what I mean. Like, you don't have to sit down and write a novel on the history of your character. But
Wait, is that why Mordrin hates me? Because I'm flamboyant and he's stoic? It makes sense.
But even though Hell's Gate wrestling is in Hell's Gate, you still, if you're going to bring in the supernatural, you need to make it make sense to me why your character would have this, that, the other. If
Fuck
you
off,
don't
LA.
ask
There goes my next door.
right,
We gotta
because
snort.
yes, we are supernatural based in Hell's Gate wrestling, but you still have to make the supernatural realistic. So, like, let's say you were human everywhere else, now you're all of a sudden you're here. It's not going to make sense. Case in point, I'm bringing in a new person. He came to me with another character he has as an alt, and I said, "Oh my God, I need that alt, and I will help you develop that alt because we see you this way everywhere else. This will be unique." And he goes, "Oh my God, that's amazing. No one's ever wanted to do my alt before." And I'm like, "Yeah, but that one makes sense for here."
So Gav has a point with a lot of these things, and you guys touched on it earlier. If the game gives us something weird and we run with it, that's organic. That I love that shit. A lot of my storylines that happen, I don't sit and plan them. If shit just starts to happen, we run with it, and then I'll grab a couple people and be like, "Hey, can we turn this into something?" So very good point to where, I mean, we've had a hoverboard Caleb whenever he was on his knees hovering around the ring. And we were like, well, you know, there's different, all the glitches and stuff that we have and we make fun of. Like the fact that yesterday's show had 3 ladder bridge breaks and a flaming table. Like, I don't even care that he didn't break the table. I sold it as he threw Sly in it afterwards. But those things don't, I mean, we've waited 7 years and they never break the announce table. So it's like taking what the game gives you and turning it into something else is just amazing. Shout out to Solo with the super chat. Next week, Jay Savage, Solo, and Twitch will be on. We'll delve way more into sliders, movesets, setting up the character. The last little thing I want to talk about before we get into talking a little bit about the game, which coming out in just a few days, is promos. So this is something that I love as part of the game, but I was scared to death to do in LTD for a number of reasons. It wasn't because I didn't think people could do it. Let's go back to my original thought. I have people, and this is my choice, that need their hand held at the bottom level. They don't know what they're doing, but they love being in an E-Fed. There's people in the middle. They're never going to promo. They don't want to. They don't care to. They're just happy to be part of the community. Then there's people up top that write tremendously. They can do a whole storyline. They can carry their own. What I see is those at the top going for those at the bottom. It doesn't fly with me. That's low-hanging fruit. You're attacking someone who's not going to be able to make a good story out of those promos and battle back and forth. So I struggled with it. I cut off a lot of chats because we were seeing people promo and then 10 people had a conversation afterwards. And that promo, that hard work, which could have been a good promo or a shit promo, we don't know. Someone works all weekend. They come on into the chat on Monday, and they're like, what promo? I don't even know what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, it gets lost in the sauce.
So Discord is what really helped me with that, because now there's one place for promos. There's rules for them because I want a TV style promo. You know, we're going to take that to the next level in 25 because I'm going to accept written promos. That's fine. I'm going to accept video promos because I love them. And shout out to Riley Wolf, who kick-started all this by doing promos walking down the street with a fake belt. And I said, we need to get this involved. I got a lot of people that I know have been in been in UFEDs, can write books. They know they can do great on promos. But if I didn't regulate it, we would have people that put 2 sentences or people that write a novel. I wanted something in between. Something that you would see on TV. A segment that you would see on TV. Shit like that. So I came up with a set amount of rules to an extent, and there's wiggle room with it, obviously. And when you post a promo, I brought the gift of gab for this reason, because I wanted to find a way to regulate it, but let you guys have your creative freedom. And that was, it's a juggling act. And it frustrates me because I don't want to penalize those who are good at promos, and I don't want to shit on people who aren't good at it. So that's a juggling act as an owner, where you got to be like, what am I going to do? So I came up with, you submit a promo to get into the tournament. If you don't get into the tournament, I'll still put you in some other event. Then once you're eliminated, the game will still decide the winner. But once you're eliminated, you can promo to get back into the final. In the next 25, I'm taking it to another level where now it's going to be, I'm going to videotape, watch the actual promos in universe mode. I want you guys to mimic the hand gestures, make it match as close as you can. If it's 50 seconds long, don't give me a 4-minute promo. You know what I'm saying? I want it to match up. Now, there'll still be the ability to just type out a promo and submit it. All right. So I'm not getting rid of that. But at the same time, what I've found and I'm different, everybody's different. If you let people just go willy-nilly, it's going to get lost in a shuffle. It's not going to make sense. And the problem I had was, here's someone calling someone out. Then someone else says, yeah, I challenge you, I'll take on. And then the other one comes back. If you're going to do a back and forth, let me know about it so I can produce it. Put it in a place where it's not going to get lost in a shuffle, where the back and forth will make sense. And at the same time, don't cut a promo just because someone cut a promo. You have matches. You know who you just fought. You know who you're going to fight. You know if you have a title. make it make sense. Once again, all the way back to what we've been talking about this whole show. Make it make sense. All right. So it's like I mean, we could have an entire show on promos, but what I want from each of you guys is just one thing. What is most important to you when you are writing a promo? And we're going to start with Chance on this one.
For me personally, it is entertaining the people that are receiving it. I want the people that are gonna read it, that are gonna hear it, that are gonna watch it, whatever the case may be, to invoke some form of emotion, rather it be them laughing at something that I say in it, rather it be anger because I'm big bad heel talking my shit, whatever it is. I want it to be something that gets a reaction, and I'm pretty good at that. So don't fuck with me.
Yeah, and seriously, when I came over from WU, Chance and I had these conversations a lot because I was a prick in WU for the most part. I mean, one of my favorite things to do as a fisherman character is reel you in, make you eat your words. I will specifically read someone's promo, analyze it, and see where is the fault. Where can I use something against them in that promo to get back at them? Obviously, here I wanted to be the good guy, so I created a bad guy to be the dickhead. You know, and he's done a pretty good job. I think he's one of the most hated in the entire DWS.
Hi, Blaze.
And I won't even say his name. Stop it. But as far as promos go, there's so many levels to it. It's tough to just pinpoint it on one thing. But that's what I'm asking you guys to do here. What's most important to you when you're doing a promo? Tiny, what's most important to you whenever you're doing a promo?
She's heading back over.
I was muted. Am I unmuted now?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. What do I look for when I'm promoing? Chance touched on it. Emotion, showing emotion, trying to get emotion. If it's typed, try to describe things to get the emotion directly that I need to have. I applaud Riley for that walking down New York with a fake title on his shoulder, because that brought out to me, back to me. You know what? I can do that too. So I'm starting to do more of the in-character video. When I do that, it's portray my character the best way I can. So I lurk in the darkness. I'm the mistress of the darkness. So you'll see me in the dark, might be walking in the moonlight, things of that nature. Just try to get your character in mind when you do the promo. Try to act and sound as if you are your character. Like if you're a face, try to do it face. Don't go in there heelish and your face. Have your character in mind. And then I don't know what else.
I remember when you did a video promo, and it was like really dark, and you had candles lit, and you couldn't really see everything, but it was the content coming out that you wanted to focus on.
Yes.
So the surrounding was just part of it.
Yes.
The words are what really mattered. So that's very important.
The tapping of the long fingernails on my desk, the skull.
It was amazing.
That I had, yeah.
Another good one here. Monstar says, for a promo, why are you fighting someone? How are you similar or different from your opponent? I go back to old school rap battles, and I'm talking about 90s. I'm this, you're that. I can do this, you can't do that. I'm going to tell you that you're that and I'm this. Mm-hmm. That's a simple one way to do it. Two is, I know that I'm fighting Mordrin for a championship in 2 weeks. Let's do, and Count and Matt Storm, without a lot of planning, did this, leading up to their title fight. They did the music songs that were like diss tracks.
Talked a lot of shit for 2 weeks,
Yeah. And they built, that helps me. That helps me. Like, you guys made that title big fight feel just by the banter. But if it was just random, here's my promo, here's your promo, it wouldn't have been as good.
I think that proves the success of Gift of Gab, because I won the first one, won the title. Matt won the second one, won the title, and we built just an amazing promo feud. Like, he stole my title, and then I was like, oh, you're not going to win it, and it sold it very well. And Matt Storm credits, he walked away the champion. And it was a solid,
Yeah.
fun story to do.
This is part of what I want to do, Gav, is find a feud during the gift of Gab, I'm sorry, and let them do a back and forth here live. I mean, we've done a couple little kind of ones here on the Get Blaze podcast parts, but
That would be great.
I'm evolving
be great.
to. I didn't want to jump right into promos because then it's a fucking mess. Because you got to
Can be.
regulate it to a point. And listen, once again, this isn't me bragging; it's just a fact. I'm dealing with 90 different personalities. 20 of them probably don't want a promo. 20 of them have no clue how, but need help. Let's help them. And then there's the other 30 that are fucking phenomenal, and I want to do stories with them and stuff. I couldn't hide it. Big shout out to Retro in the building. And this is another thing, and there's a gray area here. People need to figure out if you're a good or a bad guy before you start a promo. Yes, for sure. I don't want kissing babies and hugging grandmas when you're the most evil guy on the planet, unless you're spitting on the baby and kicking grandma's head afterwards. You never know. But at the same time, if you've noticed, in the 7 years, I've never called anybody a good guy or a bad guy in LTD. I have never regulated anybody to one of those roles. That's up to you guys. To me, everyone's a tweener until you go a little bit in one or other direction. You know what I'm saying? This is a gladiator world. I want to paint the Mad Max picture where they're all just badass sons of bitches that want to fight each other. Doesn't really matter if you're a good or bad guy. Now, if you're in a feud with someone, it definitely helps to have someone leaning more towards the good and not the bad. That levels it off. That's wrestling 101, for us as wrestling fans. A lot of great stuff in here.
Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, my earphones died, so.
Oh, okay.
Using external stuff.
Count's a good guy. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Shamrock would steal. Yes, he would come to the arena and steal kids' food.
That's fun, yeah.
And here's another thing about interaction.
To drop kick him.
I kicked a kid once.
I've always said, leave the fighting for in the ring. If you are new to my company and you come in saying, and this is a real example, I'm not going to name drop, but someone who's trying to get into my company kept attacking the referees, the fans, and the wrestlers, and they weren't even on my roster. Guess who never got to be on the roster? That person.
That person.
So once again, the theme for the whole show today, make it make sense. Do you ever see someone, walking in and doing things like that? Maybe, like Sean said, coming in there and, taking popcorn out of a kid, that gets you over as a heel. That can do it. When it comes to promos, there's a difference between exaggerating and lying. Good point. Don't call someone a loser if they're a multi-time champion or a legend in a company. Learn about your opponent. That is brilliant. That is definitely something you want to do. Maybe you're
that's like top shelf advice.
Do some research of who you're fighting. Yeah, do some research on your opponent.
Listen, we're promoting over 50 eFeds, but I'm going to tell you right now, that shows when you watch Grand Prix wrestling.
It does.
Because they have storylines that make sense and tie in show to show. So that makes a lot of sense coming from him. Here we go. Here I was waiting for this one.
Don't God mod, yes.
Don't come into my show and tell me how to run my show.
Oh God.
Yes.
Don't come into the chat and tell customer A or player A or B that that's not how a heel should act. Trust me.
Or the other side of God modding. Don't tell somebody how they should react to something.
Yeah. Don't attack me and then sell my reaction. It's my job as my character to sell how I'm going to react. If I'm going to, don't tell me how I'm going to behave.
So also
that's God modding.
God modding would also be this happens and then you pretend it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But
sometimes
really. Yeah,
sometimes you have to. Sometimes you have to no-sell someone super kicking you down 10 flights of stairs because, this makes no sense. I'm not going to even pretend that I read that.
Passion. It's called passion, LA.
Well,
I'm sure LA. I'm sure if you were on here, you could tell us plenty of stories about people promoting, going overboard, doing too much. is famous for that over there.
I got stripped of a title because somebody God modding me. Shifty stripped me of a title for someone God modding me.
If you don't have somewhat of a leash when it comes to, your character work in your fed, that goes on this guy, the showrunner. That goes back on that person for not having. So I learned that the hard way, because for 2 years I didn't have any rules. I would just wanted to lead by example and hope everyone fell in line. This is what
I hate
want.
to say it. I hate to say it as you don't have a leash on things, but that's basically what it is. That
Yeah.
you can have the I don't have very many rules thing. That's all finding. I have very few rules at Whipping Post. We all know that, but there are certain don'ts. And I put my foot down on those don'ts, and if you cross that line, you're gone. I don't. You no longer exist to me. You're out of my company. You're blocked from my page. You're done.
Yeah.
You
And I
sit
agree
along
with
with Kassie, I will honestly say, and I've warned people. I brought in almost 20 new people this past year, and probably 8 of them I've had to send in the DMs. Listen, if you do this, or this, you're going to get attacked by people in the chat, and I don't want that. So let me help you first, because these people, and I don't know who the goddess of Pain is. I just noticed that. Who's the goddess of Pain?
You spelled your name
you got
wrong.
a typo on your name.
Yeah, I got a typo. Of course you do. Typo goddess
now
over here.
I got to change this to goddess of Pain now. On
Yeah, goddess of Pain, the Parm queen.
Yeah, the
It's
biggest
already
thing
fixed.
I would say in the promos that kind of ties a bow on everything is make
bullet
it
points.
believable.
Yeah. But make it believe. Here's the thing too, and I've talked about there's 2 sides of the coin if you're promoting with somebody. Listen, here's the example. The gift of gab, you're not promoting on anybody to get in. You're telling me, why should my character be in this tournament? So that's more about, tell me more about you. If you're in a feud, I definitely want you to use the other character's personality and stuff they said against them or stuff leading up to something. And here's what I definitely want to say. If you guys want to get involved in promos, get a hold of the person running the show and tell them, hey, I want to do this or I want to do that. Because I might say, hey, I got this plan for you already. We can't. All right. So communication. In the first 2 summits, we talked with Riley, Totes, Beat, Odds, Monstar, and Kelly about communicating with the people in your eFed. It is invaluable. I learned it the hard way. I'll admit when I'm wrong. Now I will grab people and say, listen, here's the story. I'm doing it right now. This whole Wii scenario, I have 3 plans for it. I don't know which one I'm going with yet. That's up to you guys. That's the Dungeons and Dragons aspect of the game I want to bring. I have 3 outcomes. I don't know, some of you old people might remember there was books when you were a kid where it depend on what
Choose your own adventure.
Choose your own adventure.
Yeah, that's what I want to do here. So I don't have, and a lot of times when the storylines come out, back to an old Chance one too, where he wrecked a plane leaving Japan just to strand those specific people on the island so they can all promo with each other. That was planned, but there was no end game. It was, let's see how it plays out. That's what I love about this game. You can plan it out from top to bottom and hope it comes out. You can also leave it to, pun intended, leave it to chance. and that's what I'm doing right now. This story that I'm doing right now, I didn't want to, that's why I closed all the stories. And you guys with the Chance Sam Hacksaw thing yesterday were like, oh, we're not done with you yet, Sam Hacksaw. And I'm like, yeah, you are. And they're like, no, Joker comes in and he's like, oh, just wait. The family's going. No, they're not. and I had, if I didn't do that, then I got people doing a storyline that's already done. So I closed up most of the storylines to do kind of 1 or 2 more things before. Listen, for those that have eFeds, you know, the transition between games is a process. It's
Oh, Lord, is it ever.
So why would I have 15 storylines going on when I'm going into the next show? Now, the 7 people that disappeared yesterday or 8, there's reasons behind them. They either not coming back, they don't want to come back, or they haven't been around for a while.
Yes, I'm in the process of making milk cartons for those people.
Yeah, we need to find them.
If they start coming back, or are more active, I use D-Train for this example all the time. The moment D-Train says, hey, I'm going to be back around a little more, D-Train's on the roster.
Oh, yeah, D-Train all the time.
That's my brother. So, and he's always told me, I'll tell you when I'm ready. And I respect that about him. So there's people who have crossed me who are never coming back. There are people who I've given 2nd or 3rd chances. I never, and I'm gonna name drop, I never thought I'd bring Frozen Rage back.
Oh, it's fair.
Because of the things he used to do.
Fair.
But, I've had conversations with him on PS calls and stuff, and we came to an agreement. It was like, and I had to put my foot down and talk to the man behind the character sometimes and find out why, and there's a lot of, and I have nothing against him. I back then it was a different story. There's other people that I've brought back 2 or 3 times and they did the same shit and they're gone forever. So it's like, there's a give or take. You got to protect your community. And that's what the bottom line was. Some people don't fit into what I do, and that's okay. It's nothing personal. I don't dislike those people for not being able to follow my rules, but I don't want you around. Go find another Fed. I'm sorry. I'm going to get close to Heel Blaze and Goddess is going to get all happy.
She's going to get giggy.
But it's true. Sometimes I got to put my foot down or else it would be total fucking anarchy. And
Pandemonium.
I'll bring Jay Solo into this. He loves using the word drama. We don't. That's his prerogative. He doesn't mean the drama that we've dealt with in WU or personal attacks or people pretending to do that. That's not the type of drama he's talking about. He's talking about interactive, intense storylines that make you compelling storylines that make you want to watch the show. I've already, believe me, when I first met him, we had long conversations about, dude, I'm not using the drama word in my community, and here's why. And he's like, well, he's going to. That's fine. I totally respect that. I'm not going to fault anybody for how they want to run their company. We don't have to agree on everything. But what he does is phenomenal. What all you guys do is phenomenal. It doesn't, if it was all the same, it'd be boring.
It would be.
Exactly. It's the uniqueness that keeps us going to all the different companies and watching their streams and interacting with the people. That's what keeps us doing it. It's the uniqueness of each individual because they go with their own flow.
If I don't do Supernatural, but other people do, that's good. I want people to have a place to go and do that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's beautiful about this community. You look around at all these logos. And here's the thing. Number one, these logos to me, they're human beings. They are people that are running these shows. That's what I love about it. They have their own way of doing it, their own way of structuring it. And yeah, me and Odds, I love Odds because I can go him with questions about the old games and stuff, and he'll know it. But we disagree, but we don't hate each other because we disagree. We'll debate it. You don't have to agree all the time. You know what I'm
disagreeing
saying?
actually allows you to build some kind of thing. You can you both disagree, but you make good points. You kind of compromise and kind of find something that really works. You can disagree and use both your agreements to work.
Debating builds friendships. It's the arguing and only going with the one-sidedness and keeping the closed-off mind that creates enemies.
And yeah, once again, don't take it personal. Get involved. Don't get too involved. Have fun. Don't have too much crazy fun. Like, we have our limits. I mean, me and Goddess have talked about this before. She pushes the limits even more than I do. I want to. You're not going to find a Blaze show without curse words, but I'm not going to also fucking say fuck all the fucking time when it takes away the impact of it. You know what I mean?
Use it sparingly.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm saying
I do.
in general. I'm saying
Goddess,
using me as an example.
Goddess is always swearing.
I want to cuss, but I'm not going to say holy shit to every big move. That takes away the
I will go back on something we touched on earlier, though, about getting the strikes for the songs and the videos and all that, too. When you get those strikes, and profanity can get you on their radar as well, which I have to watch myself, you may not have anything happen to you if you're not monetized, but you're screwed in the algorithm that puts you out for other people to find you. So there is a cost to us saying, I don't care if I get a strike or if I get a Kuiper right now, I don't care. But there is a cost to it, and it screws you as far as getting new people to your channel.
Yeah, look, I mean, this is a good point from Grand Prix with Chance. Debating and differences of how to do shows made him and Chance friends and helped the development of the company. So it's like, it's okay to not, trust me, as much as I love all 6 of these people here and Kassie involved too, we don't agree on everything, but that's okay. But here's the thing. I have to put my foot down about what I want on my show.
Yeah, you're the DM.
And so and I didn't do that before, but I know to do it more because I do have a specific way I want things. And I'll use Tiny as an example. She's a writer. She can write 18 pages. It was tough for me to get her to get it into 200 to 300 words to get her promo across. But I know she could do it, and she does it brilliantly. But that's the difference. She is very wordy and wants to explain it all, which is brilliant. But for what I was specifically doing, I needed something
Be
short
concise.
and
Bullet
sweet and
points.
concise. Now, other places will let you go willy-nilly and do more. You know, I had some people I have to be like, hey, I want a promo from you. I want a promo. I know you can write. Why are you not doing a promo? I don't care if it's written or, you know, we're setting the example. And look how much better Gift of Gab 2 was because of Gift of Gab 1.
Yeah.
Very true.
You know what I mean? Like more people are comfortable doing it or getting help. Witcher has never done a promo in her entire life. Cut her first promo and it was really good. It got her in the tournament.
It was good.
And she made it to the finals.
And I purposely stayed out of 2. I didn't chat. I did nothing because I wanted other people to step up and look what they did. I'm proud of the ladies this time. The ladies really did step up.
And I'll put Bill Haight on the spot too, only because he's been with me since day one as a match writer, as part of the company that it was always my nemesis. Rootless was always the nemesis to Blaze and the Steel City Committee. Back
State of mind.
Before all of this, when it was all typed out, it was all text. So you didn't have a choice but be able to write. And it sticks. Here's the thing. When people can't type a promo out, it sticks out like a fucking thumb. It looks horrible. But
it does.
But maybe those people just can't do it. You got to understand, maybe they do need help. Maybe they just don't have a right. They want to get a point across, but they don't know how to do it. I've seen people progress from Gift of Gab 1 to 2. You know, and I'm going to do it even more. I'm going to challenge you all for Gift of Gab 3 because there's 3 levels to Gift of Gab 3.
Yeah.
There's not going to be one. I'm taking it to another level.
I can't wait.
There is the match up the universe mode promo. There is the video and audio promo. There is the written promo. Yes, there'll still be a tournament, but there's 3 levels to it. There might even be 3 different.
Oh, you want a video promo for Goddess? You're going to get some. Oh my lord!
And Bill Haight, I'll put him on the spot too. I didn't know this until 20 years later. He has dyslexia.
Yes, he does.
But wrote for me for years. Now, when I ran LTD in the EFED years, I had 5 match writers. They would send me the matches. I would put it into Microsoft Word, do a spell check, do a grammar check, and go through it, correct a couple things. I didn't have to correct too much of Bill's, even though he says he's dyslexic. He did a phenomenal job of getting his point across in a concise manner. And when I saw him in that Pete Wall chat 7 years ago, I cried. I couldn't believe it. I was like, that is not the same Bill Haight. I'm like, oh, Bill Haight can be a pretty normal name. And he was like, yep, it's me. And, you know, that just goes to show you that this is a game. This is just for fun. It is just a hobby, but you can make real life friends out of this. You can make some real honest connections.
You can.
Oh, yeah,
These
definitely.
people here are my friends. They're not just the characters they play. I wouldn't invite you on a podcast if you weren't my friend. So it's like, I've always told people I could be your best friend and I'll do anything for you. But if you cross me, I could
suddenly need a shower. I suddenly need a shower.
Come April 11th.
I'm a friend of Blaze.
I have literally known these people on this chat right here come April 11th for 14 years.
Yeah, for what it's worth, count out of these 7 people, you're on the bottom. You're number 7.
Yeah, I'm bottom tier. I get it. I'm bottom rung. I get it.
I mean, you should
barely hanging on.
Well, I mean,
I should be.
Count you in good company because I'm 2 boxes away from you on the bottom level. So, you know, hey.
Perfect. We can hang out.
Perfect.
We'll
There you go. See?
Hey,
In character, we love
that
to hate each other, and out of character, we love to love each other. So
I'll put it
comes
this way. I got you all beat because I'm the guy that Blaze didn't want, and then I'm the guy he didn't want to bring back either.
Sean says you paid him. Bill said he says that, and look who hasn't been on an LTD show live yet.
Old, not in a bad way, but old. I didn't want to shake the tree the first couple years, so I was warned about Griffith Davian and Mordrin Nightwalker. I'll be honest, I was warned about them.
Yeah,
and I was very careful on who I let in at first too. But once you get to know the people, maybe sometimes you'll understand why their characters are that way. And
Mort is amazing. Mort is an amazing person, and if you anybody out there that thinks otherwise, it's just. You're reading him wrong because he is an amazing person.
Sean Monstar said it last week too. He was like, if people didn't know me and him were friends, they'd think we hate each other based on how we treat each other.
I'm I'm gonna need some soap after this, but I'm gonna say something real quick. Mordrin Nightwalker is probably one of the best promos. He is a concise character. He's great for experience. I've talked shit to Mordrin since 18, 17 years ago. I was on radio. Like me and Mordrin have talked shit for years. And when it comes to promos, you always want to have a bullet point. You want to start something. You want to tell a story, but explain why you're fighting, explain what's going on, why they should give a fuck, and then you tie in your beginning to your end to
and I
build a
knew
complete
that
story.
too. I knew what Riley did spurned people. So if I could get Mordrin on here dropping promos, that's going to invigorate other people to want to do it. Digital Dog did a video promo. The first gift to Gab that was so good, and he DM'd me. He was like, "I'm sorry, it's such shit promo. I should have done better." I was like, "Dude, that was really good. You don't have to."
Amazing.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
There were things to improve. Like there's always things to improve, but as a baseline, that was good. That was good, Digital.
And none of us are perfect. We may be good at certain things, but here's the bottom line. As a collective, this community I'd put up against any community because number one, we're an actual community. We're not just a bunch of people doing the same thing.
Yeah.
At the same time, there's structure to who I bring in here. I want people at all three levels of engagement, but I also, when I do match cards, I do them for a reason too. Like I sit here with this stack of cards each week, and I know these people have to have fights. And then I got like this stack of 20 that I don't have matches with yet. If you're not engaging, you're not around a lot, you're probably going to find yourself in a lot of Crazy 8 and Blitzkrieg matches. Because I want to give the focus to the ones that are putting in the most work. I said it last show, and I'm going to say it again. LTD is no longer a fly-by-night company. If you're not getting involved, you're not going to be on the roster. And that's nothing personal. That's just the way I have to do it because I want to improve my product. I don't care how good. I know I do a good job. I want to entertain people. I want to make people laugh. But seeing you guys and you guys in the chat run shows makes me want to do better. I need to find ways to make it even better. So I'm always brainstorming to try to improve. And we all should do that. Collectively, all of our flaws individually go away when we're together as a collective.
Yep.
That's the definition of a family. That's the definition of a family, people. And for those that feel I'm not good at promos or I can't create my call, I've never done it, or I can't make it to shows all the time, you're all still valuable. I'm not wearing my loyalty as currency shirt. I'm wearing my Flash Gordon shirt because
Flash, savior of the universe.
But loyalty is currency. You don't have to super chat me. That helps because I just bought a fucking $500 PlayStation 5. But if you can monetarily donate, I'm going to really appreciate it. But in the chat comments, share it. When I see someone share it, loyalty is currency. That helps this entire thing. And look, I don't even game, but I went to Bill's gaming show and I got a face reveal. He said he's revealed his face before, but I think it's the first time I've ever seen your face in the 25 years I've known you. And see, when I talk about donations, I might get one, but it's not the end all be all. It
One
really
hand
isn't.
out, other hand slap.
Because I know a lot of you can't afford to donate or don't want to. And I don't want to disrupt or think that you're not part of the family because you couldn't be a member or you couldn't super chat. That's why I gift the 10 memberships I can gift every month. I gift them. I forgot to do the second one before the end of the month, but I gifted 5 yesterday. I wish I could handpick who gets them, or I wish it would only go to people that are in the live chat. But
that are active. Yeah.
That's just an added part to the show. Seriously, I couldn't stress that enough. I've seen a lot of shows that are built around giving them money or whatever, and that's fine. And I'm not talking about anybody in our community at all. This is outside the community because I study this art form. I watch a lot of other people. But then at the same time, don't pay so much attention to the numbers. It doesn't matter. I've used this example. There's people with 20,000 subscribers. They do an eFed show. There's 3 people in their chat. So if you have 100 subscribers or 100,000, you can still do this pretty well. Let's get to the final part here, and that's just kind of summarizing everything up and talking a little bit about 2K25 because we got a new game coming out in just a few days, and it's kind of exciting. So here's the summit was something that was inspired by the conversation that Chance used to do on Twitter and all of our behind the scenes talks that I realized was beneficial if we did them on air. It just makes sense that if you talk about it on air, the people in the chat, we still got 24 hanging out. I love it. We're reaching 200 views already on a talk show. And I tried to keep it quick, but we're going to do 3 hours because this is stuff that people need to hear. Not everyone needs to hear all of it, but I'm hoping you guys learned a little bit and learned from other people. The first summit was Totes, Triple Beat, and Riley. I learned a little bit more about Totes. He's new to this part of the community, but he's been doing this for years. He's evolving, taking WCW and picking up where it left off and making his own. Now he's transitioning it into something new. So he made sense of the story into his show. Triple Beat runs, a couple different types of shows on his channel. Plus him and Odds and them that do the GM stuff. I love it because I don't play the game. Riley Wolf, he took his original Dudleyville show, left for a while, became a real pro wrestler in real life, a referee as well. And then he started doing, the gambling stuff. So he has his own twist on everything. So that first one was a nice icebreaker. Definitely check out Triple Beat and everything he does. Riley and what he's doing right now with tons of different games. I think he recreated Blaze on 2K14 or 15 or whatever the other day.
Yeah, Riley's amazing.
That was fun.
He is, man.
Let's not build his ego up too much. All right?
He'll have trouble walking through the door. I
can't help it. Riley, he gets props. He's chasing his dream, and he still comes and spends time with us, which I think is amazing.
Shout out to Totes, everything he did. I want to bring Totes and Beetle back for another idea I have down the line, and
Totes maybe no Beetle.
Have another panel with all you guys down the line too, so we can talk more about 2K25. Last week, I'm so glad that Monstar came on the show. I didn't know if he's going to be able to make it or not, but he did. Odds always has really good in-depth analysis and stuff about this art form. And Crushing Kelly, I wanted a female aspect, and she has the supernatural aspect too. So that really gave us diversity in those first six and how they run their shows. There's Marley Good. We were talking about him earlier.
It's good. Marley Good.
And he uses the good puns. Yeah. So definitely check out Monstar and what he does on his channel. Odds as well as Crushing Kelly. And once I start the gathering, I'm hoping there's enough room in the actual description of every gathering show will have all 50 links to other people's channels. And that's what I want. I want people to be able to reach out, except for this Count Z guy. You don't have to go to his channel. It fucking sucks.
Yeah, I wouldn't go there. I would not go there. It's a den of depravity.
But Chance has his own channel, but he's representing Grand Prix because he's heavily involved over there. So definitely check out Grand Prix. They've been in the chat with some really great comments today. So I thank you for being a part of the show too. But and today we went from, hey, I'm just going to have a show on character development and promos. And I had no plans, no offense to any of you guys. I love you to death. I had no plans on bringing any of you guys on for this show. It was just going to be an open forum and maybe bring people in. But once I started to think about it, these 7 are the ones that I've had the most contact with overall about how we've evolved this art form. So it turned into, who'd we lose?
I think we lost Mordrin.
No, Mord's right there.
No, I'm here.
I think we lost
Kassie. No, Goddess.
Did you lose
Kassie
me?
dropped off earlier.
Yeah, we lost Kassie.
Oh, we lost Kassie a little bit ago.
And Cougs.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know
No,
why.
Cougs there. I think it's Goddess.
Oh, the Goddess of Pain is
There
gone.
she is. All right, she's back. There she is. I knew it looked a little different. So then
The
I
Goddess of
thought,
Pain.
then I thought, why not torture myself and bring all these motherfuckers on and have a good time? And
Well, hey, we've been pretty well behaved, I think.
Yeah, we have.
that's been good. I mean, I was hoping to
That is
get
what is wrong with us.
I mean, with 7 guests on, and I had 5 different items to cover and to go to each of you 7. And you guys were exactly what I expected. You chime in when you want to, but I'll go back to you and stuff like that. And the information's been phenomenal.
We were all respectful, and then Chance was here.
Yeah. So check out Grand Prix Wrestling. The link is in the chat as well as in the description of the show. There's his other show, his other channel, Grinder Gang. Still waiting for Slaughterhouse to come back. When's it coming back?
Grinder Gang.
Chance, Slaughterhouse coming back, right, Chance?
No, never.
You fucking dick.
Grind
Chance
it.
Harper is the benchmark.
I'm here to
I love
save
that
this
show.
and keep over
It was
your
great.
level, but
I still think it's going to happen one of these days. Cougar Knight, she's representing EXW, Elfie's show. But definitely check out Cougs as well. I think I got EXW on here too. Yeah, there's Elfie's channel as well, doing her stuff. So there's so many out there. Like I said at the beginning, find whatever suits your needs and your character. And we didn't really get into it, but some people like to be on 1 or 2 shows. Some people like to be on 50. It's just, if you're on 50, don't expect everyone to don't expect to know everything that's going on in all 50 if you got one of those people. But it's all
I'm literally on a lot of shows I can't even get to. So it's like I'm a big part of the replay crew because people have me that I didn't know had me, but now I do, so I go over there.
We didn't even delve into the if your cause up on Community Creations, people will download it.
Oh yeah,
I'm cool with that.
And that's just the way it is. Like,
use me if you want.
Some people will upload just so someone can download it and then delete it. That's fine too. But if it's up on CC, someone's gonna. You guys don't realize we're just talking about people who are broadcasting. How many kids out there that saw Goddess of Pain and downloaded it, or Chance, or Mordrin, or saw Blaze and downloaded them and playing them off the air? There's probably
God, I hope the kids haven't downloaded.
Who knows? Well, I can't. I'm looking forward to be able to upload to Community Creations again soon, because that's one glitch I've had since probably patch 5 is I cannot upload.
I have one guy that I literally met on the PS, and he saw my cause, and he like messaged me on the PS, and he's like, "Look, I love everything you do with the women. I do a strictly women's show. Can I use your cause?" I said, "You can use any women I make. Go ahead." Yeah. And he does every year.
And some people, find the 3 or 4 that they really like, and that's who they can concentrate on. It's all up to the individual. If you're just happy to be in a bunch, you can be in a bunch. But that's like me. If someone downloads Blaze and uses him, I am so involved in my federation. It's a full-time fucking job. It's tough for me to follow all the other companies. If you want to use me, that's fine. I'll stop in whenever I can, because as you can tell, like, this whole show is based on, I want to support as many people who do this as I possibly can. I mean, I'll go back to my little saying: apple trees don't eat apples, pear trees don't eat pears. Your gift that's given to you is not for you. It's to share it with other people. That's one of the things I live by. And if I wasn't giving back, I don't want to be here. And if you're not subscribed to Kassie, when she does stream, it's hilarious, it's fun, it's entertaining. She's off the cuff too. She'll push the envelope. She's not PG.
Cassie's fun.
It's a fun gaming channel that you guys should be subscribed to. So as much as I'm not a gamer, I support gaming channels all across the board. Eternity Broadcast and Mordrin with Sacrifice Wrestling. Great stuff. I mean, he's turned it into his own thing, and I love it. I enjoy it, and can't wait until you start doing shows even more again. Same thing with Tiny. Tiny just did one.
Oh, yeah.
She does a lot of the recorded stuff with Hell's Gate, but did a live. What was it, like 7 hours yesterday? Was it, or
6
something?
and a half, almost 7 hours. Yeah, that was fun. Days.
But see, and Solo says setting the bar, and that's what I wanted to do. Like, I remember, I never said it to anybody because I'm a very humble person. But when I saw what Pete was doing and what other people were doing back then, I loved it, but I wanted to take it to another level. I wanted to add a whole bunch of new stuff to it, not knocking anybody else and whatever they do, but that was my game plan. I had a long game plan. I mean, I studied it for 9 months, had my digital wrestling baby before I even went live, watched how it was going. But the key word in solos is interaction, going all the way back to all the different ways I want to interact with you guys. And I'm going to dig to try to find something real quick, because I did have something to that effect to cover.
Recorded, because I could do it like in a movie format for some things, like the tribute for Jack Bayou, for instance. I do that pre-recorded because I don't want commentary because of the emotionality of it. I don't want that, but I do still love the interaction. So that's why you will always see some kind of live show from me, like last night. 6.5 hours later.
So as far as interaction, here's just some of the things that I've done. Obviously, the live chat and the interaction with me in the live chat. It's a little more difficult now with more people trying to follow everything. But I do try to rewatch some stuff too to catch everything. That's what the mods are good for too. If I really miss something, you guys are letting me know and shit like that. The dad joke. Shout out to Triple Beat for giving us the dad jokes. And then there's Iffy coming in with her penicillin for the dad jokes, which spawned a commercial. So it's like, that's great interaction. Speaking of commercials, the commercials, you guys submitting commercials, you guys giving me scripts for commercials, that adds more of a TV element. And the theme songs, the same thing. You guys submitting theme songs, having theme songs adds more of a TV element. Wrestling roulette and game night all together. Those are all interactive games. Ladder chat hangman. We all know Chance Harper loves ladder matches. And he's had so much success in ladder matches. But we were sitting there going, why does the guy climb the ladder and fuck around with the title or the briefcase and not just unhook it? We got to find a way to make that fun. How about ladder chat hangman? So we play hangman. You guys try to guess it. And you know what that does to the show and the channel? That takes roulette and hangman, takes my comment number through the freaking roof. And that matters when it comes to, so ladder, even name that tune. I'll play a theme song. You guys guess who it is. That's all interaction. The level up rankings, you guys created that. I did not. You guys were talking about, what do I need to get to a Grand Slam? How many titles do I have? And you go to the website and you look and you figure it out. And I'm going, wait, there's two parts to this. There's how many different titles has your character held? And there's how many title reigns have you held? They're both important. So, and I don't want to slight those who just started because they don't have a ranking yet. They haven't won a title. But those who have been around a while and you guys kept talking about it. I need this one. I need these two. I need this. That's a goal. That's something to talk about in promos and your character development. So the level up rankings are there, but I'm not going to broadcast them. I also don't do the, player 2 coming down to the ring. He's 0-73. Because if we went by wins and losses, it would be embarrassing to some people. And all we do is create and let the game do it. You're not controlling the moves like you do in WU and having a lot more control over it and shit. And then the Gift of Gab promo event, that's interaction. Now, I don't know if the chat did it or not. And if you're not into Discord, that's fine. This is nothing personal. I fucking love it. It's everything I wanted, except for the trolls and hackers we can't control. But Discord is the perfect way to organize your eFed. It reminds me of the message board days, but it also gives me a place for everything. And if I want to have a channel where nobody can comment except for me, and I can get my information out, that's good. So I'm going to have Discord gauntlets during the gathering at any point in time on my Discord in the open chat. I'm going to announce Discord gauntlet is open. And I don't know how I'm going to, if you say in or say yes or whatever, I'm going to say the first 10 men and 10 women who respond to that will be in a gauntlet. Will the gauntlet be for a title opportunity or something? Maybe. But that's just another way of interaction. I've always wanted to look at a way to bring the outside group chats into the YouTube stream. There's not a lot of ways to do it. The little games and stuff are one way. But I thought, since almost everybody is in the Discord, I'll just randomly put it up there. And it's first come, first serve. What do I want to do with that? I want you guys to check the Discord more. That's all. I don't expect you guys to live in there. I don't expect you guys to only use the Discord, and stuff like that. But at the same time, it is the perfect weapon for me to give you all the information you need, give you a place to promo, give you a place where all the resources you have. I have a Linktree channel where you can find out, we used to have the problem in this digital wrestling world where people were coming and be like, when's my match? When's my match? Who has the championship? Who's the champ? And you don't know. A lot of these places you're not going to know. And if someone doesn't want to have a resource like that, that's fine. That's up to the eFed runner. But I just found I got less questions if I put it out on social media. Here's your champs. Or on that little one-page website, here's the history.
Do I have a match tonight?
Yeah. When's my match? When? And my book. And my book. Right? Where's Chance? And my book. And my book.
And my book. And my book.
I'm not.
I'm only here so I don't get fined.
If it was the next game count, I'd take you up on that because women can't fight men now.
Oh, I'll fight you any day. We'll get to
And
that.
right-
Don't worry.
And this is me personally inviting anybody out there, whether you're on my roster or not. My DMs are always open. We've talked about, we care if something in your real life family is going down, it's affecting you, but we really don't want it in the live chats because it's going to bring down the show. So my DMs are open. And a lot of you guys here on the panel and in the chat should know that by now if you've known me for a while. I'm always open to discuss things, whether it's in character stuff you want to talk about, or something that's going on in your life that's bringing you down, or something that wants you help. That was the end of that little apple trees don't eat apples, pear trees don't eat pears. Your gifts are for other people, because it's true. And I'm stealing this from a comedian or someone who said it. You can be down and miserable and ready to give up, but then someone calls you and they got a problem, and you'll give them the best fucking advice on the planet. And you'll wish to give yourself that advice. That's what it means when I'm saying your gifts are for other people, and to give it to other people and help them as well. Good point. There we go. Matt Storm. Yeah. And admitting you were wrong. I've admitted so many times things I've done wrong in this community.
Oh yeah, we've all do things wrong.
Oh, yeah.
I've done things wrong.
Count, you're always wrong. What are you talking about?
Fair.
I quit counting how many things I've done wrong.
Yeah, I stopped counting a long time ago myself.
The final thing we're going to do, and next week, shout out to Solo Season and DC Gaming Network. Twitch and Solo are going to be on. We're going to talk a little more in depth about movesets, sliders for the game, as well as delving into 2K25. So 2K25. And Dubs, you're one of the newer ones. Iffy, you're one of the newer ones, but you're part of the family now. You guys are in. I can tell, like, when Iffy started coming around, I'm like, oh my God, she's getting along with fucking Count Z in the chat.
Oh yeah, Iffy's amazing. Iffy is so good.
Now, I said that jokingly because I love Count, but in character, he's a prick. So I'm like,
I am.
She's going to follow suit of anybody. But here's the point. If you're brand new and you can hang with Count, Goddess, Tiny, Chance, Mordrin, Kassie, any of these people, Cougar, then you're in. Like, for instance, when people started going after King Sam about the hacksaw and Chance angle,
He is amazing.
Sam fought back. If you fight back and it's lame, you're going to get buried, because these people will put you in a hole in character and make you feel like a piece of shit in character. But Sam fought back. Sam
is good.
Kept coming back.
He's so good.
And here's the thing.
So good. I was in his DMs and Discord going, you are so good, dude. I love you.
That's why that
Count a small
storyline
PP.
continued. I could have ended that story right there. But since I needed to add more people to his side, so that's why, Totes and Digital Totes has already said he liked being the bad guy sometimes more than the good guy. We haven't seen that yet, because when I brought him in, I wanted him to be a good guy for the most part. Like I said, I don't really announce that, but you as your character dictate good or bad and how your guy comes. But to see Sam stand up to the Utakers, the Nightwalkers, and Chance, and everybody who started going after, because if you're going to kill someone, we've never done a kill angle. But if I was going to do it, and this was a group chat where we discussed it, and we said, hey, if we're going to kill someone off, Chance, I know you'll play along, we'll all play along. So it worked out well. I'm not going to kill someone off just for the sake of doing it and being a dick or whatever. But I look forward to next week talking about, more in depth. Then we're going to get into some fun. We're going to bring Riley and Odds back, and we're going to put them on the stand. We're going to put them out front, and we're going to play Jeopardy. I'm not going to play the song because I'm going to get copywritten again. But I don't know jack shit about half of these games you see on the screen because I don't play the games. I know about them. I know a lot of people talk about No Mercy, Here Comes the Pain, some of the old games. I mean, the Nintendo Pro Wrestling, I know more than any of these. But you guys are the experts. So I figure, why not play a game of Jeopardy? So we're going to have 4 categories, technically. You guys in the chat, 2 weeks from today, come here with some... see how bad you get your ass kicked. That's a good attitude. We already talked about earlier.
I'm looking forward to this. I love Jeopardy.
So Triple B, and you guys, anybody can help me and submit questions to me. I'm going to have 5 questions for games. The answers will basically be these. What game was it where this happened? Or you could do this. All right. The match types will be like when was the ladder match first introduced in a game, or when was intergender last in a game, shit like that. Features will be similar to that too, but even more. And then chat choice will be you guys in the chat coming up with questions for Riley and Odds. And Triple Beat is already behind the scenes helping me with questions, but that's open for anybody, you guys like that. And I had to go a little bit further, and shout out to Riley designing the pictures for the guys, but it'll be Riley and Odds one-on-one. I'll be the host, and you guys in the chat will help out as well. And I know I'm going to learn a bunch of shit. I'm going to have fun with it. We're going to laugh with Odds and Riley, and hopefully learn about some stuff.
Let's go, Riley. Let's go, Riley.
Go, Riley. Sorry, Oz.
And I here's how this evolved. I had no plans to do this, but I was given Odds credit for one of the most intelligent when it comes to knowing facts about all these games in the past. I can't remember what I ate for dinner yesterday, let alone stuff like that. So I credited him. Riley said, well, I know a lot too. I said, let's put that shit to the test. And we're going to play Jeopardy in 2 weeks here as part of the summit. We'll also talk about 2K25 a lot in the next few weeks. It's going to drop on Thursday night. I've already said as soon as it goes live, as soon as I can download it, I will turn the commentary off, turn the jukebox off, turn the crowd down a little bit, turn the blood on, and then go live. We will test out the game. Have fun. There's going to be a lot of people going live just to show off the game. But we will slowly get into creations, and we will slowly get into the new game, which has a bunch of new stuff. Some new weapons like a safety cone, a mannequin arm, and a trash can lid. I still want the fire extinguisher back and shit like that, but
I want the fire extinguisher so bad.
I would so love that.
One of my favorites.
And I want and I want to be.
Why
able
do you
to
have a
take,
flip flop?
I want the chancla. I want to be able to take. I want the trash can. I want to be able to put the trash can over someone's head. I want to be able to put the safety cone over someone's head and then punch them. You know, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. We're happy to get what we're getting this game.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about this last week, cross-platform. We have 2 different community creations now. We're going to make the most out of it. We heard this. This is February 3rd. This is not new news. Even though with the interviews 2 weeks ago, it came out, you know, that a lot of this. And the bottom line is we work around whatever the game gives us. And that's it. We've always done that. But this week is kind of exciting because, you know, March 3rd, tomorrow, everyone that was at Creator Fest, I think they called it, with a bunch of creators that went and played the game. They're going to talk about general gameplay, which I don't care, but it still matters. The new match types we'll talk about here momentarily, but the big stuff for us, universe mode and creation suite. More information we're about to find out tomorrow and Tuesday on the 2 functions that mean the most to us. My Rise, My Faction, and Showcase the other days. I've said it a million times. I don't play those modes, but I love it when you guys do and stream it because I think it's phenomenal.
Oh, they're fun, yeah.
So I want you guys to do it. Plus GM mode with Triple Beat and Odds and those guys do with Kyle for GM. Now it's online. So that takes that to another level. So I think that'll be interesting. Shamrock Sean Monstar normally streams My Rise. Some of you guys, people stream My Rise. I love it. Please do. Showcase as well, because I like to watch that stuff. At the same time, don't put any stuff on your call for LTD if it's an unlockable in My Rise or Showcase, because I ain't playing it. Actually, the 1 year, was it 2 years ago, Chance, or 3, whenever I shared my login with Chance and he finished My Rise for me? Was that 23?
I used to do showcases for people.
Which one was that, Chance?
I want to say it was
22. Yeah. So, and that's one way to do it, but this year it's like I'm not gonna fuck with it. Create your character without it. I already said, I mean, and we'll learn more about all that this week, obviously. But if I was a game player, because I guess the announcement came up, you can't use CAW for the island. You have to use an actual game person, which I didn't know that was a fact, but I'm hearing that now. But I would seriously say, if you're gonna like play My Rise and all that shit, duplicate your CAW.
Yep.
Have 2 of them. Make one for, you know, I know a lot of people already do that. I mean, I see 75 Brandon Aces up there on community creation.
Because those 25 Sean Sanders.
Yeah, because they'll make it specifically for each federation.
Yep.
Which is, I think, is a good idea. Now, for me, I run 100 overall, but if you're not, I'll just fix it. Don't make a whole new CAW just for that. So what we're going to do now is the final segment. And the only way to do the final segment is at the end of the day, as we know.
The chase is getting old. The trail is far beyond gold. The tale seldom told. To get the meaning.
So I lied, but when I started the show off, I said I'm gonna pull off something I didn't think I could do. Most guests, shortest summit, and this is going to be second place. The first one was, I knew we'd have more because I want to get input from all of you guys, and you've been phenomenal. So over the first two summits, I let each person say what they're, just give a brief what you're looking forward to, the new backstage areas. We got the Bloodline rules match where, as far as faction wars go, I think I'll be able to use that there. Intergender, I'm not going to use it that much. Some people are going full intergender. Some people are just using it. I think I'm just going to use it for friendly fire rumbles, just so everyone can be included in the rumbles. It's not like, and for everyone out there, it's not about a woman beating up a man or a man beating up a woman. This is a video game. I mean, if you're playing Fortnite, do you stop when you see a woman and not shoot them? I don't think so.
I mean, I'm beating up Mrs. Utaker because she's a woman. Exactly. I want you to know that.
I mean,
I'm beating Count up because he's just that.
It has nothing to
dumbass
do.
Man. That's
I mean, on the real though, it has nothing to do with domestic violence. We're not promoting.
No, it doesn't.
That. We're not gonna. I mean, please don't think that. But if you have beliefs where you don't want to be involved in intergender matches, I respect it 1,000%.
Exactly.
Not a problem. Not a problem. And I've heard a lot of people even say, I'm going to do just based on storyline. Like, you're not going to put Alexa Bliss versus Braun Strowman, but the Rheas of the world, the Chinas of the world, the ones that make sense.
The Beth Phoenixes, it makes sense,
Yeah. The underground arena, I'm telling you right now, I'm probably going to use that right off the bat. I'm probably going to use that right off the bat for the storyline that I'm kind of working on in the transition. Ladder match updates. Chance is going to love that because he might be able to win a ladder match. But being able to do signatures and finishers off the ladder is good. Hopefully they don't jump off the ladder 5 times when they could win the match. The barricade interactions are great. Now there's a whole new set of moves jumping off the barricade. The AI moveset, I think, is huge for us for, I think, the future more than anything. Right now, it's going to be good because you're going to have 150 moves that you can add frequency to and when they're going to use it. And that tells me they're finally looking at AI stuff. So once old gen drops off, hopefully we get that sandbox where I can pick and choose what I want on my universe. I want this promo here. I want this cutscene here. I want this here. I want that there. And make an actual show. Kind of like story mode, but not really. Universe mode promos, we already discussed that. Coming back. I'm going to literally do a live stream showing all the different promos if I can. I'm going to set them all. And then I will reference that when Gift of Gab comes around. Go back to this stream, watch this promo, and make an audio promo matching it up. Time-wise, hand gestures if you can, and everything. Chain wrestling, we'll see how AI reacts to that. Assigning weapons like Sawyer, Temple. Temple has a barbed wire baseball bat. Now, when he goes to get a weapon, that'll be the first weapon he picks out. After that, it goes back to the wheel, whatever that match is designated to. So a little more realism identifying that character. So I dig that. Third-person camera.
That. Very much.
I might not use the third-person camera that much. I mean, you get those shots on WWE TV right now of them coming down in their entrance, which is good. I really miss, let us take the fight into the gorilla and then backstage.
Yes.
Let us do that again, please.
Yeah, let us walk the stadium.
That's possible. They did say new backstage areas. Maybe they're
so
bringing some of those back as the new areas.
Now, having the areas is one thing. I'm talking about, I have a Falls Count Anywhere match, and it ends,
I want it to be everywhere.
It ends in the fucking hallway in the back. Remember the electrical box that got exploded?
Goes to the bathroom.
Oh, yes.
And they had that little interview area.
Yes.
Where you could fight in.
Yep.
See, I was talking. He knew I was talking about him earlier. I was talking all kinds of bad shit on you, Rage, earlier.
He was.
But Solo, Jay Savage uses the roaming camera a lot more. then I use it just in certain instances. He uses it for really good purposes. He'll zoom in on stuff he uses. So I think the third person cam will be great for what he does. That's one of his signature things. Women bleeding and not only once a month. Yeah, that's my joke.
It's multiple days a month.
Hey now.
So them being able to bleed is great. Here's another thing. What I've heard from Brian Williams in the future is arm blood, leg blood, chest,
like welts
blood.
and stuff.
Oh, that would be awesome.
I want to
he
see
said-
welts and bruises.
Not this year, but it's in plans. That might be one of the things we need old Jen to fall off for them to be able to do. So
interactive bruising would be
Yeah.
awesome.
I mean, they're already bringing us back. The barricade can be damaged, not just broken, but damaged. Will the AI do it? We'll see.
I think maybe a little bit.
now
If you allow people going outside.
Yeah, and then the guest ref improvements, basically up to 6-man matches. From what they said, standard 6-man matches. So if I make a 6-man blood elimination, I don't think I can do guest ref. That's just my take. I might be wrong. But they gave a list. SmackDown Hotel has a list. Here are the match types that you can do the guest ref on now. And it's all the standard matches, all the way up to 6 people, though. I forgot to look if Chamber was in there. But, you don't have a ref in the Chamber, do you? Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you
There
do.
is, yeah.
I'm
There
thinking
is.
cage match. I'm thinking cage. When he's on the outside of the cage. But yeah, that adds to it. Like we used this year a little bit. Shifty, Kassie, Riley, we're guest refs. So we might do that a little more next time around. Just checking the chat real quick. They're planning for a specific limb is damaged when they do the limb. Yeah. So limping if someone hurts a leg. So that's another thing they definitely talked about, which is good. I think the sign of us getting this many things. Let me play Negative Nancy real quick. I think we're going to have some issues with this game. People, be prepared.
There's going to be some first day patches, like first week patches. It's going to be a thing.
The image uploader might not work for a while. That type of shit. Community creations might not work for a little bit.
I'm not uploading for at least a week.
Yeah, I'm not, I don't upload for I don't upload until maybe 2 weeks. I get all the logos everybody wants that I'm creating for. I'll get all the tattoos they want, but I don't physically go into the custom creation now for maybe 2, maybe 3 weeks, because I've learned with the first patch, shit goes wrong and gets gone from your inventory if you don't.
Yeah, you have to do everything again.
For 3 weeks instead of doing it all over.
I try to tell people that every year, but I get it. You guys are passionate. You want it. But most of these feds aren't going. Some people are waiting a month or two to move over. But I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of those people that are saying they're waiting until May, they'll be there in March. Because here's the way it happens. You get into the game and you want to wait a couple months, but then you see everyone else is already starting to play the new game. You got so many that are already on communication, so you can start your fed. So, and I get it. If people want to wait, that's a great thing. But at the same time, I'm going to be doing the gathering for 3 weeks. So, and until most of the end of March, but I guarantee by towards the end of that tournament. And what I'm doing is every Wednesday show is now going to be creation. So Tuesdays will be LTD. Wednesdays is a creation stream. Thursday is LTD, Saturday LTD. And I'm continuing these summits all the way through March so we can talk about the game. Because here's the thing, like I said earlier, individually, we all have faults. We all have things we do wrong or can't do. Together, we're fucking super powerful as a community. And if we learn from each other and use each other, hey, I found this out. Hey, I found that out. So why wouldn't we, for the first month, get together every Sunday and talk shop, share best practices? Hey, I found this out. Hey, I tested this match. Hey, this is happening. Shit like that. So at the end of the day, I'll go to each of you guys. 2 parts. Tell me what you're most looking forward to on this list, and then a final word from each of you. So I'm going to start from the tippy top. Cougar, Knite, what part of the new features are you most looking forward to, and your final thought? Cougs, you here?
I'm here.
All right.
It's not actually a feature, I guess. It's more of a match because I think it was 2 years ago, myself and my sister were promised the first blood match for women.
That's right.
So I am looking forward to seeing Cougar and Goddess have the first blood match with the women actually bleeding.
If I didn't do that, I would get killed. So I have no choice. And I look forward to it. I do remember that. And do you have any final thoughts?
just remember when you're creating to stay true to what you create. As you grow, your character's going to grow. As you change, your character's going to change, and everybody needs to see that.
That's brilliant. That sums it up. That is exactly. I mean, we could have did a 1 minute podcast, and that would have summed everything we've talked about in the last 3 hours, pretty much. So, very well said. Very well said. Goddess is in the chat. So we're Goddess. You could just type whatever you're looking forward to or your final thoughts, and we'll have Count mimic you and pretend he's you and say it. Tiny, anything on this list that you are most looking forward to, whatnot, and your final thought?
I'm looking forward to the backstage and the underground arena. Women bleeding, of course. I've been a proponent for women bleeding for freaking years. Yes, we finally get it. And my final thought, whether you're new or you're an older time watcher or roster member, just remember you may be one person in the world or for the world, but for one person, you are a world. Meaning be kind to each other, because just a simple hi and hello means the world to just one person in that chat.
Amen. 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 Brilliantly said. And that's why I try to greet everybody that comes into these streams. Like when I do the beginning of these podcasts, I'm putting everybody up there. I try to say hi to everyone who comes in. I've said this a million times. I hope you guys understand now. I don't say goodbye. And that's just a personal preference. Number one, I'm doing a show. And number two, we've had a lot of, I'm leaving. Okay, I'm back. I'm leaving. I'm back. I'm leaving. I'm back. So I'm not going to say goodbye to you 50 times during my show. Number three, I don't want to distract from the show, but it has nothing to do with you personally. Here's what I love about my mods and the people in the chat. You're going to get a goodbye from a handful of people when you go, if you have to go. But if you're stopping in and you're at work or you know, you're just popping in, that means the world. Just like Tiny said, you know, this is our escapism, people. You know, as much as we might go after each other in character, you know, and shit like that, it's nothing personal. I'll continue to say that. But at the same time, you can make a difference in someone's world from the live chat of a video game stream. Let's think about that for a second. You can affect someone's life in a positive way or a hilarious way. Like a lot of you guys make me laugh. I pride myself, and I don't talk about it a lot. I want to make you guys laugh. Whether it's laughing with me or at me, you're smiling. I've said that a million times too. But part of my show is a fucking comedy act. Why do you think I've done this so much in my shows, is do silly shit or sing like a moron or make dumb jokes? I want to make you laugh. And when you're laughing, whether it's, oh, he's ridiculous, I'm laughing at him, or that's a really funny joke, I'm laughing, it takes your mind off of whatever's bothering you in the real world. And that's what I want to do. I want to help change people's lives. And like I've said before, it's a video game. Not a lot of people realize when they come in here, and someone did it earlier. I think it was Odds. You know, he was like, Cena versus Roman Reigns. And you'll get that in the chat. But now,
all the time.
Over the years, the moderators and those in the chat, you guys really control the chat. Like you guys will calm someone down. I've seen people say, oh, this is AI versus AI, or this is all custom creations. Blaze doesn't play the game or whatever. And that helps me out so much. This is not easy. The conversations I've had with Totes recently and a couple other content creators, you guys don't realize how much work we put in behind the scenes to make these shows happen.
Nope.
And make, you know, some people just press the live button and go. Let the universe mode set their matches. Have fun with it. Some people go live and let the chat pick the matches. There's no wrong way to do it. But I want to make you laugh. It goes back to what's good to me in a wrestling show. Surprise, amusement, and entertainment. If I can give all three of those, and someone who is terrible at all three, Count Z, you're up next.
Yes, I am terrible at all of those. I want you to know. That's actually what I was going to say, though, Blaze. Thanks for stealing my thunder. Was
all right.
It's all about
well, that's it. Bye-bye, Count. Good to have you on the show. See you later.
Well played. Well played, Dick. Touche.
Touche. Use my line in the Discord. Yeah. All right. Count, what are you looking forward to mostly for 2K25 and your
I'm
final
looking
thought?
forward to the movesets and how they fight in the ring, the match types. The bells and whistles are nice. I'm looking forward to Intergenter. That's all cool. But I just want to see what moves they have, what enter options I have, and then how the AI fights. I just want to actual experience. I want to watch a good match. And I hope the AI improved. They do smarter decisions. It's still going to be AI doing AI things, but I want hopefully a better, more fluid game.
Perfect. Your final thought to the people out there.
And my final thoughts is, again, we're all here to have fun, talk some shit, take some hits, and have a laugh at the end of the day. If Count's talking shit about you, laugh. I'm most of the time trying to get other people to laugh or get you to laugh, or every now and then make myself the butt of the joke. It's fun to be laughed at sometimes situationally. It can
So
be
I
fun.
said, whether you're laughing with me or at me, you're smiling.
Exactly.
And you even used the term. Good job.
I did that for you. At the end of the day, I like to pick on Blaze.
Oh, when I do this final thought thing, you're supposed to say that first. I forgot to tell that.
Love you, Blaze.
My voice is about done, and we're about done anyway. So, Chance, a brother from another mother. What's your? I was going to say your little saying at the end of your shows. In the meantime, in between time,
You do it, baby.
what are you looking for?
I have to throw my wig on. I have to throw my wig on and do Goddess's thing. Be right back.
All right, we'll get you after this. So, Chance, I'm really interested on what you're looking forward to mostly in the new game and your final thought.
I'm looking forward to the AI moveset settings. That'll give me an ability to tailor things a little bit more. Then I'm kind of interested in how deep that'll go, actually. My final thought, kind of stealing what was just said from CAW there. We're out here to have fun at the end of the day. While yes, there is a such thing as a good and bad promo, your effort is the only thing that really matters.
That's brilliant. That's something that needs to be said because right in the beginning of the show, and I say this all the time ad nauseum for a reason. I want people to realize, unless you really selective about who you put on your federation, and some people are, and that's fine, you're going to get 3 levels of engagement. You're going to get the people that need help, but are so happy to be there. Some that just want to be along for the ride, and some that are really good at what we do. And the fact that, is to say there's no bad promos. There's just people that do it differently, and maybe some people that need more help. But, the effort, that's why when I do Gift a Gab, I don't know if you guys realize this, but everyone who submitted a promo gets something. They're either in the tournament or they're in an internet title shot match or something else. So I've rewarded every single person that has put a promo in Gift a Gab 1 and 2. Now, I can't say that I'm going to do that for 3. Some people might be left out because I'm hoping for more involvement in 3. Yeah, don't ever hire a Blaze guy or a Rage guy. They both suck. Don't make me agree with you, Count. I mean, Rage and Count, both of you fuckers.
Wow, you got Count on the brain.
And Count left, good, so I don't have to worry about it. Yeah, it is, and that's the word I love to use is escapism, and it's fun, but I want to help people forget about whatever's going on in their life. Hey, best for last. How about it, Mordrin Nightwalker?
Yeah,
let me know. Let me know. Oh, wait, before Mordrin, hold on. Go ahead, Count.
Okay, so I have to read Goddess of Pain's comments. I have to go scroll up. Here we go. Oh, thank you. I love you. My final thoughts, everybody, as the 8-time Battle Queen, Goddess of Pain, just have fun with it, okay, everybody? Keep an open mind, and remember, we are all dealing with something, and this is our escapism. So be a dick, but occasionally, but make it fun. I know I'm ahead, but I'm running from a bucket to my phone. So please don't yell at me, Blaze. I don't like heel Blaze. I hate it, actually.
Oh my God, I'm dead.
There we go. This is my Goddess of Pain Joe Dirt wig. Hello. I look like Ziggy Stardust.
Oh my God. I love it. I love it.
I'm dead.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's an example of getting into character.
Gotta have some fun with it.
He broke
Gotta
me.
have fun with it.
You broke me.
I even have a Joe Dirt hat.
How did I fuck this up? Hold on. There we go.
To say I'm shaking my head is an understatement at this point.
There you go. I'll have fun with it.
All right, Mordrin Nightwalker. What features or functions are you most looking forward to? And then you're at the end of the day, final thought.
The biggest one, and I'm going to tie it in with a special announcement, so some breaking news for you here on the show.
Awesome.
Is the intergender matches. And the reason I'm looking forward to them is when I bring Sacrifice back fully, I am creating a new title called the Open Weight Championship, which will be 100% intergender.
Oh, really?
Sweet. I love it.
So I wanted to do something different. And I saw what a lot of people were talking about, mixing their tag teams and things like that. So it's like, okay, let me get a separate division.
It's awesome.
That just encompasses all of it.
At the end of the day, final thought from the East Coast bastard, the legend. What's the exact thing? Tiny, help me out.
The man, the myth, the legend, motherfucking East Coast bastard, Mordrin Nightwalker. I'm sorry, Goddess. I fucked that up, I think, still.
There you go.
You did. It's okay.
Shut up, count. You don't count.
He's answering. He's the goddess of count, so.
I'm the goddess of count, exactly.
Fine.
Final thought there, Mordrin, at the end of the day?
My final thought, kind of part of what I said, what I used to say on my shows all the time, and something that kind of really got back to me again recently. Make the most of every moment you have, because you never know when it's going to be your last or your last chance to make an impression with somebody.
Chance pun. Very well said. Very well said. And that's
very much
the idea behind this whole thing is, yes, it's a game, but it's also a place we all come together. Mrs. Green Thumb, thank you for stopping in. You're catching us right towards the end of the show, but 3.5 hours later, I barely have a voice. But I want to thank definitely everyone who stopped in the chat, as well as obviously the guests that I had. I had these are my friends, these are my people, and that goes for everybody in the chat as well. We are a family. We're not just a group of people doing the same thing. We are the definition of a community, and we want to put unity back in the community. I don't care if it sounds corny or not. It's with exactly what we do. And fuck your couch, Chance. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, fuck your couch.
But let's continue. Let's take this to another level. Let's support each other. Everyone that's out there doing that, no matter how they run their federation, let's support them. And let's make 25, no matter what bullshit the game gives us. Let's focus on the positives, do our workarounds, and take this art form to another level. And we will be back next Sunday with Solo and Twitch, talking specifically about movesets, sliders, stuff like that. And we're definitely going to talk about the game dropping this Wednesday night, midnight. Who knows if it'll be ready right away or 6 in-the-morning, but I will be streaming as soon as I can. I invite you all to come hang out and go on this adventure with us, man. I mean, it sucks that we have to pay so much for this game every year, and we could sit here and bitch about it. But it gives us the ability to reset, refresh what we're doing, maybe make some big changes. I'm doing that. I'm making some changes. And to continue to bring happiness, joy, strife, grief, anger, all the emotions. Like someone said earlier, they want to get all the emotions out of it. And that's pretty much what I want to do. I want to get all the emotions out of you. You've seen me cry. In real life, you've seen me sob. You've seen me yell. You've seen Goddess loves it when I yell, right? Goddess account.
She does. Oh my god, I love when you get Heel Blaze. It makes me all tingly in my woman's parts.
I just don't like the name.
I like when Heel Blaze comes out.
The heel.
No, it's amazing.
It needs a better name. Heel Blaze is.
It does.
I guess it's okay, but I don't want to be Evil Blaze because he's not really evil.
Crotchety old man Blaze. It's crotchety old man. Get off my lawn, young whippersnappers.
Get off my lawn, you kids. You
yeah,
little
you're crotchety Blaze.
Well, make me beat up a kid.
With a fishing pole.
With a fishing pole, of course.
As of that, that's about all we have. We're gonna end right at the 3:30 mark here. Peace and positive vibes, everybody, man. I love y'all. I really mean it. This community's become something that I thought it could be, but a lot of people doubted it could ever be. So I'm happy to be one to prove people wrong and give everyone this escapism, this fun. that is digital wrestling, virtual wrestling, whatever you want to call it. Whatever you want to call it. That's for you, Chance. You son of a bitch. Everybody, I love you. And as I always like to say, I'll see you in the stream. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Peace out, fuckers.
Greetings, Alex.
Get blazed. This is where, you know, I don't know if you guys can unmute. I know I can unmute and talk.
I can unmute. Fuck your couch.
Same here.
Yeah.
Said me. I heard that fuck your couch.
I hate this video because it's a bunch of pictures of me. I didn't want a bunch of me. I had to get Cody in there. I'm just trying to show all the different episodes of the talk shows. But you know me, I don't want to.
It's giving me Chance Harper ego vibes right now.
Yeah, there's Miles. We got Miles in there at least too. Tried to get a bunch of people. Bucket Hat Blaze. Maybe no, that doesn't really say bad Blaze. 6. That's old 6. There's the sewer where Lord Amadeus became the Maestro. How about a McRib? Yeah.
The McRib.
Conversation. There's where this all started. A McRib shirt. I like to pull up in the McDonald's drive-thru with that on and be like, anybody this stupid about this? There's Tiny and more.
Yeah.
And there's Kyle, F. Kyle. Hey, Savage. Next week, thank you all. This is awesome. Riley, I don't want to give him too much
We should.
airtime.
Dude, man. He is.
Build his ego up any more than it needs to be.
One of my favorite tag team partners, Riley Wolf.
Wait till you see who your partner's going to be next year.
Oh, I know.
I'm going to make you tag a wreck.
Oh, me and Bill hate.
Oh, God. You really make me hate it. Get blazed.
No, it really touched me when you said during the show, Blaze, that a video game has brought a lot of us together.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I in a million years, would never have.
I remember I always talk about Judgment coming in going, are you guys really fighting over a cartoon video game?
Speaking of Judgment,
if you would have told me when I started this 18 years ago that you'd be sitting in the same fuck living room as Mordrin Nightwalker, I would have slapped your fucking silly and said, no fuck way.
Hey,
here I am.
Eaton Beaver inspired me. Pete Wall inspired me. People in W inspired me. Everyone here inspired me. Riley,
you know who inspires me?
Count, fuck you, you don't inspire shit.
Yeah, you know who inspired me? Myself. I said to myself, self, you inspire me.
There's your judgment. No.
There's your judgment. I miss him.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
Give Eaton Beaver everything for my what I do for videos, but I'll forever give credit for Blaze for making me into the CEO I am now on my Mordrin.
Look at that guy! Look at that beard!
That's a beard.
Cover that face up, Jesus.
Hey, I still got it.
You count. Cover that up. Hey,
I have a beautiful face.
The gathering is just starting. There you go. There's Totes. There's the first one. I have to do a screenshot of this one, even though it's just me. But there's Monster. I had to impose his in there because he turned his camera off. But get blade. Thanks for being a part of the summit, everybody. No, not Gav. No credit for you. Or you,
Give
Ray.
it up.
Both of you pricks. Fuck you, Count.
Touche.
No shit,
I deserve
Goddess.
it.
No shit, Goddess. We want you to hear us. Duh. We can't hear you, Goddess.
Yeah, everybody give it up for...
Goddess she thought we weren't doing it on purpose. Everybody made fun of Goddess.
Yeah, everybody made fun of Goddess.
On purpose.
Bye-bye. Love you.